Hey, Dad.
Yes.
Do you got a second?
What?
Well, I don't know. I felt kind of weird talking about it with you earlier today, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I thought it was kind of rude the way you turned on the TV at 7:30 this morning and woke me up while I was sleeping on the couch.
I thought it was kind of rude for you just to walk in my fucking house unannounced. So we're even.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Just what I said.
The side door was unlocked. I mean,
You didn't say you were coming over.
I'm used to like the window being ajar and climbing in, but
Oh,
you know.
shut up.
What?
There ain't no windows ajar.
Sorry. Look, I'll say I'm sorry if you say you're sorry.
I'm not sorry. My fucking house. If you go to bed at a normal time.
I went to bed at 2:30 a.m. That's pretty normal.
Well, that's not for me, it ain't.
Well, you're an old man. Hey,
well.
you're not at home, are you?
No, why?
When you get home, can you do me a favor?
Nope.
Come on, I'm asking you nicely. I took a shower last night and I left something of mine in the shower.
What, piece of shit?
Why would I leave that in the shower?
There was nothing in the shower. I took one today before I went to work.
Well, I think I left my my lawnmower 3.0 from Manscape in the shower.
Oh, that's going right in the garbage.
Don't throw it out. It's a great item.
Nope, it's going in the garbage.
It's got a light on it and the 7,000 RPM motor. Please don't. What?
You keep fucking pumping that shit on the phone, and I'm throwing it out.
Well, look, okay, I know you're not interested in having a hairless
Shut up.
sack.
Just forget about
But look, there's something else I actually wanted to talk to you about. They actually have a cologne that I think you might be interested in.
No.
Yeah, it's like the Manscape Cologne. It's a special formula that is,
Listen,
I would have to say, is
You want me to
light.
hang up now, or do you want me to tell you to listen to this and I go quick?
Don't do that's rude. I just talked to you about
I
how
don't wanna hear the shit.
I was just talking about how rude it is that you woke me up this morning and I can't talk to you
Well,
about.
that's not my fucking problem.
Dude, Dad. Sometimes you don't smell the best, and I'm just trying to help you with some cologne here. That's not. It's you put it on your neck.
You're such an asshole.
No, you put it on your neck.
No, I am cologne.
Look, it's light, approachable, and gently. Like look at it as like your wingman when you go out. I'm sure you go out to the club looking for ladies, right? The club.
You want me to hang up on you now?
Don't hang up. Look, this scent from Manscaped is calming and inviting.
You want me to hang up now, or are you going to change the subject?
Dad, do you like animals?
You're going to... Goodbye.
No, please don't hang up. Come on. Son of a bitch. This man is so rude.
Huh.
What is wrong with him? I was just trying to tell him how, this Manscaped cologne is cruelty-free, dye-free, and 100% vegan as well. He's never been a vegan, but I mean, like...
He's been a vegan.
What?
Until he was, 16 or whatever.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
That's when he lost his virginity. That's what he told me.
Okay. Well, I know you haven't had a chance to experiment with your cologne yet because I forgot to actually bring it to the studio. However,
I can't wait, though. I've been wearing the ball deodorant right on my neck.
No, you're not supposed to do that. Though,
Why not?
I mean, you can get away with doing it because it smells so
can.
fresh.
Yeah. So fresh.
You
so
know,
clean.
You told me that recently you had a young lady take a sniff of
Yes.
the toner and the deodorant.
Yes, I did.
How did that go?
Wonderfully.
Yeah.
She was so happy with it. She kept her nose there.
How long are we talking? Like, was she like Eskimo
I
kissing
fell asleep.
the
yeah.
taint?
I fell asleep.
You fell asleep.
Yeah, and when I woke up, she was buried there.
Oh boy.
What?
I don't know.
Why not? That's how good it smells.
I mean, hey, look. If
Here, smell it right now.
No, I'm not smelling it right now.
I mean, I put it on.
No.
This was a couple days ago, but here,
Okay, well, listen.
I'll smell yours. Here, I got some in the bathroom right now.
I'm
You
not-
put it on.
I'm not
I'll smell yours.
I'm not putting it on for
What?
you. But I will.
Are you tired?
I will say this.
Do you think you might fall asleep?
I'm hoping that I get my lawnmower 3.0 back from my dad because I was trimming in the shower because it's waterproof and it helps me so much with my clean and fresh look.
Yeah.
The cologne has been a perfect compliment. So, of course, if you're interested in any of these items, you can go over to manscaped.com and use promo code. What's the promo code again?
Well, that's pardon.
Pardon. Pardon. And you save 20% and get free shipping. It's something that my dad should be interested in, but he's just not. So, I mean...
Greg, I got to tell you something.
What's that?
Your dad sounded very convincing that he was going to throw it away.
He sounded exciting.
Yeah.
Excited.
He's going to get rid of it. And so, if unfortunately that does happen, I just want you to know you can borrow mine.
I'll purchase a new one right now using the
With
promo code Pardon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you'll save 20%.
I will, and get free shipping. And with that being said, Aaron, I think it's time to start the show.
Let's get it.
Initiating podcast download. Prepare yourself. Put on your spandex. Lace up your boots. Wrap your wrists. Hide your razor blade. Head to gorilla position. Grease up your hair. Apply baby oil. Okay, apply more baby oil. Get into gimmick. Keep your ears open and your mouth shut. Have fun and be safe out there, brother. Welcome to I'm on Wrestling. Now your host, Gregory Iron.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Iron on Wrestling with Gregory Iron. This is episode 96. I'm your host, Gregory Iron, and today we've got a great show for you lined up. We're going to be talking to a individual that he might be my new favorite guy. His name's Dirty Ron McDonald, and he is going to be talking about his upcoming film. Oh, my God. This is so generic. Actually sounds like something that should be in Tony Hawk Pro Skater for the Nintendo 64.
Pardon the interruption.
Hello.
Guess who it is?
Aaron Bauer,
Yeah, how'd you know?
because you're the co-host of the show.
Damn right I am.
Who is that?
Johnny Sacco. And the name of the song was If I Didn't Have a Goiter.
And that's an uncopyrighted song?
Yes.
It does sound a lot like Goldfinger. Have you heard of Goldfinger?
Oh, don't ever say that again.
What?
Fake-ass ska bullshit.
Oh, you don't like
Wait,
Goldfinger?
who do you like? 311? Oh, tell me how your favorite band's No Doubt.
I used to have my friend burn me mix CDs and when
Obviously, you like CDs.
I love CDs.
CDs nuts. Hit your chin.
God damn it.
As you listen to your fake pop punk bullshit. Ska fucking fuck.
My best friend in middle school, Andrew, he had LimeWire and the internet, so he would burn me CDs.
He had Lyme disease?
No, LimeWire.
Oh.
And Napster when that was a thing. And so when he would burn me the CDs, I'd make him a list of like new metal songs and rock songs. But then I would I'd put like a No Doubt song.
Yeah.
Or Dido or something.
Oh.
But it was,
I like Dido.
But it was not cool for me to put stuff like this. Like I remember I had like a Moby song that I liked, and I remember so it would be like.
What was the Moby song? Was it the one with
Gwen
girl?
Stefani?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
actually, I love that song.
So Southside, I believe is the song.
Yep.
But so I remember every burnt CD that I would get, I would put like 10 or 11 sweet songs that we both like, and then I put like 3 or 4 songs that he'd be like, "Why is this on the list?" And my excuse was always, "Oh, my dad likes those songs, so sometimes he borrows my CD and listens to them." And he goes, "I feel like you're lying to me," but I'm like, "No, I'm not lying to you at all."
These are for my dad. Walking in the spider webs is for my dad.
Yeah. So what do you have against Goldfinger? That you feel like they're fake ska?
Yeah, I don't feel like they were real.
I mean, I was exposed to bands like that through, like I said, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, which I'm sure is a game that you never played.
No, you know what I did play?
Or solved.
You know what I did play?
What's that?
And I think I may have solved it. Skate or die.
Oh, yeah.
Skate or die.
For Nintendo.
Die.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would say, "No way, dude," or something like that when he burned out. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And all those mall stores that you'd skate through.
Yeah.
You know, they were like the ripoff of the real. You know, it was like instead of American Eagle, it was like you'd skate by American Beagle.
Yeah. U.S. Bird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good time.
Dude, I love that game. I got to look that up and see if people are playing that on the YouTube nowadays.
I just wish you were like 40 or 50 years younger and you would have known Tony Hawk, because that's a legendary game.
Yeah.
It's classic. I used to play that all the time, use the cheat codes.
I knew Tony Hawk, who he was.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, I was younger. Who was your favorite skateboarder of all time when you were younger? Or did you not?
I wasn't a big
Were you just a Tony Hawk guy?
I think I really got exposed to skateboarders through the Tony Hawk video game, and then, I ended up watching the Bone Brigade documentary. Am I getting that right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have no idea.
The skateboard group that was like real famous back in the day. They when I would play Tony Hawk, another one of the characters that I leaned towards that I became a fan of based on the video game was Bob Burnquist, but as I've gotten older,
yeah,
I really took a liking to Rodney Mullen, and because you
like Rodney
Mullen, yes.
I thought you meant. Never mind. I know this guy.
Who would you be talking about?
Hey, bro.
Oh, okay, that Rodney Mullen. He's super inspiring, and he does a lot of TED Talks over the years. And if you've never watched anything by Rodney Mullen, I very much encourage you to look his stuff up on YouTube, because I don't know, he's just super motivational. I've actually patterned a lot of my talks about wrestling based on his talks about skateboarding, because the way he talks about skateboarding is sort of the way I feel about wrestling. He's super passionate, and I don't know. So I lean towards him not for skating, but for the type of human he is. So, yeah, there's that.
All right. Well, I guess I'll just come out with it right now. My first favorite skateboarder ever, Jason Lee.
I don't know Jason Lee.
Oh, I think you do.
What?
He was in a little film called Mallrats, and then one called Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
And then a television show mildly successful called My Name is Earl.
I've heard of it.
Okay.
I remember when JBL did that skit on Saturday Night Live Saturday Night's Main Event, mocking My Name is Earl. That's what I remember about My Name is Earl.
Yeah.
Never watched the show.
I think I may have watched it once, but only because Jamie Presley was in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
My favorite. I'm your sister.
Oh, Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt, yeah.
Don't watch Joe Dirt 2. I think we've talked about this.
Yeah,
it's
don't
really
ever
bad.
watch that.
Time travel.
But yeah, Jason Lee started off, and then I found out he was in a movie, and then Mallrats was wonderful, and I just told you I was watching Mallrats with one of my sons this weekend. And
should that be the movie you watch with one of your kids?
Yeah, you know what? When we got into it, I was like, wrong movie.
Right. Because, isn't the closing scene where Ben Affleck's been hitting on this underage girl the whole movie, and then they go, he's getting arrested, and goes, she's 16, and he goes, what? I thought she was 38. It's like a ridiculous number like that. It's so good.
But apparently, they don't show that version. They don't show the act actually happening,
right,
as they did in the movie on this streaming service that I had.
Gotcha. Oh, is it on Peacock? I hear they've been editing a lot of things on there.
So no, it wasn't on Peacock.
Okay,
but so I thought we give it a shot, right?
Yeah.
Well, I kept telling him, this isn't the movie. This is some other movie. Like they're in a museum and on a rooftop, and somebody's looking through a telescope. I've never seen this movie. This ain't it. Mm-hmm. And then I looked and I went, no, wait a second.
That's the movie.
Those are the people. The first scene is, I think, what's the dude's name? Jeremy London?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. and his hot girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like they're arguing and about going, to Disney World or something, but her friend died. That's all I ever remember starting off on. So what I think happened was I saw only I may have started and recorded a tape off a VHS from the video store.
Yeah.
And so that's where it started.
Mm.
I probably somehow, I don't know what happened, but that's all I know of that movie. I didn't know this whole museum scene or this rooftop scene happened.
Yeah, you must have just blocked that out.
Yeah, so I've seen Mallrats 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Never seen that part.
Just not from the start.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, and I still didn't watch it because I kept saying to my son, keep fast forwarding. Let's see. Because I don't think this is the movie.
Yeah.
And then we fast forwarded right through everything I never saw and then started watching the movie. And, once we realized that it was, probably not appropriate, we switched over and we watched a movie called Anger Management. Ever heard of that?
Oh, yeah, that's with Adam Sandler and
Yes.
Jack Nicklaus.
Yep.
Did I say Nicholas or Nicholson?
I think you said Nicholas.
One's a golfer and one's the actor.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's interesting we're talking about movies because our guest today stars in and wrote this movie that we're talking about, a Pro Wrasslin Movie, The Legend of Dirty Ron, which also features not only the man we're talking to, Dirty Ron McDonald, but the movie features Rob Van Dam, Effy, Victoria, Katie Forbes, and about 20 past and present professional wrestlers, and it looks like quite the film.
Didn't he just get elected to the Hall of Fame?
Elected, yes. He got
selected?
He got selected.
Erected? I don't know what it's
Sure.
called.
He's being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2021, which pumps me up. Rob,
Along with Kane?
Along with Kane, yes.
That's what I saw, and those two were tag team partners.
They were.
Do you remember the pep talk Rob gave Kane when Kane lost his mask to Triple H?
It was before he lost the mask, right? The pep talk?
Kane was just wearing a towel. They were in like a broom closet or something together.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he was probably hyping him up.
Yeah. You
Not
know what I'm
wanting to
saying?
lose a mask.
No. He had already lost the fucking mask.
No, because Kane turned
You're
on Rob.
an asshole.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So they're in this broom closet together. Bischoff is bitching at Kane. Well, first, he's putting him over. He goes, "You gave me the best ratings that I've ever had in my life." And then he starts getting mad because he tells Kane he wants him to wrestle again. And Kane says, "No, I'll never wrestle again," or some shit. Bischoff leaves after he says, "You don't know who I am. I'm Eric Bischoff." Van Dam comes in, and he says, "Dude, people are going to love you now. People are going to love you." And Kane's like, "No, people will never love me." And then Rob, I mean, it's fucking, you could tell it's all writer shit.
Sure.
Because then Rob's like, what does he say? Kane, you should be proud of yourself. And Kane said, "I hate the fans." And RVD goes, "You hate the fans? Well, I certainly hope you don't hate me, because I'm going to win the WWE Championship." And Kane's like, and then Rob goes out and he has this, it was a good match with Triple H.
Yeah.
I think Triple H may have hit him with a belt shot in the end and retains the title.
Sounds about
and
right.
then Kane comes out and he looks at Van Dam and he's going to choke slam him. But instead he turns and he choke slams Bischoff off the stage through some tables.
Oh, man, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah.
That was sketchy.
Yeah, and then like the next week, I think Stone Cold gets mad at him.
Oh,
And-
yeah, because Austin, fought Kane, it was, bumping and stuff. And
Yes.
I remember I was like, I thought he wasn't able to do this. This is why I retired. But they had, a full-out brawl.
Yes, and I thought it was odd. Number one, it shocked the shit out of me that Austin took a bump,
Yeah.
the first
He
bump.
took a choke slam.
Yes. And then he got right back up and started wailing on Kane with a chair, unprotected chair shots to the face.
Different time.
Kane gets color.
Yeah.
Austin's running around the ring. He's not even a wrestler at the time. He's the sheriff or the commissioner.
co-GM at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I couldn't believe it. And the only reason I know any of this, because I didn't even watch wrestling back then, because I didn't have cable or
Right.
whatever. is because I happened to come upon it today. It was on the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So it just started playing. And I was like, I don't remember any of this. Let me watch.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw all of that. I was like, so weird.
I remember it specifically. In fact, that night that Kane loses his mask, he ends up having a match with Triple H on Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship, and the stipulation is either he wins the championship or he loses his mask.
Yes.
And I remember when he walked to the ring, his hair looked really weird. But I didn't put two and two together that he was going to lose his mask and be bald.
Yeah.
So I was like, I remember when he walked out, I was like, why does his hair look so weird? And then when he pulled off the mask and the hair came off, I was like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
I get what they're doing. But then I was so confused because, and Bruce Pritchard has since talked about it, and they said, they cut his hair the way they did because they thought it looked cool and different. But I always, that sounds stupid. Like, I thought they did it because they were trying to make him a burn victim, and part of his hair was missing.
Yeah.
And then I remember when he turned towards the camera and he's got the black shit on his face. I'm like, wait a minute. Do they think that's how a burn victim looks?
Yeah.
I was like real confused.
They just have ash on them.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And I thought it was really dumb.
Yep. Me too. I was totally turned off by it after I think I saw it on like WWF or E.com, whatever.
Yeah. And then the next week he just was completely bald because, as Bruce Pritchard says, he realized Kane, that being Kane, he had to walk around in public with his hair like that.
Yeah.
So they were like, let's just shave it off. But even then, he still, if you look, it was always like a buzz in the back, and then he would shave just the front.
Well,
this
thing with Austin,
weird.
the segment with Austin, I think he was completely bald because he was like, everybody's going to make fun of me. And Austin's like, no, nobody's going to make fun of you. And then they were looking at each other, Kane without the towel on his head, and it looked like Austin was looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
Because it was just another random bald guy.
Yeah. Well,
looking at each other.
The story they end up going with is the burns had always been superficial.
Yeah,
it was all in his head. But Kane was doing a lot of weird shit during that time, both ridiculous and entertaining, maybe for the wrong reasons sometimes. Like, he burnt JR.
Yeah.
And he said, and JR is clearly a double on the ground, and then they recorded JR's audio in post, and so he's like, and it's like clearly not JR on fire. And then he puts the gimmicks on Shane McMahon's balls from the battery, and shocks his balls and whatever.
Doesn't he tombstone Linda at one point?
Yes, and it looks really bad on the live version because in video packages they cut away. And I remember reading online that Vince was pissed because the shot they show, obviously Linda is 5 feet from her head hitting the Titantron. Yeah. And so, of course, that's the angle they show, and it looks like garbage. But yeah, interesting time for the King character, but it needed to evolve. And I will say Kane without his mask originally is much better than corporate Kane when they did that. But that's like a whole other tangent. He always looked like a drunk, abusive stepdad to me. But whatever, he evolved. He changed with the times.
What about Kane and the Authority?
That's kind of corporate Kane.
What about ECW Kane? ECW champion Kane.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Kane without the mask in general. My favorite version of Kane is 2002 Kane when he came back with that new mask and he had his mouth kind of sticking out. And plus,
I like that.
He came out with the theme song that you hate with the lyrics.
I hate
and
that
everything.
song, but I'll stand by this. Kane was always my either number 1 or number 2 favorite character to play as in any of the 2K games, or I think as it used to be called WWE SmackDown versus Raw.
That's correct.
Is that right?
Yes,
okay.
You got it correct.
I used to buy those for my kids, and I love playing as Kane. I love playing as Perry Saturn, and I love playing as Taz.
All good choices.
You're a good choice.
Okay. These aren't the subjects at hand, but congratulations to those guys.
Are we doing a podcast? I thought it was just two dudes bullshitting about life.
No. Congratulations to everybody being inducted into the Hall of Fame, including, I guess, sort of 440 member Eric Bischoff, who's going to the Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Molly Holly, who always I've been a big fan of. But
you scared the shit out of me for a second there.
What?
You said 440 member Eric, and I thought Eric Ryan's going into the WWE
he's going to
Hall of Fame.
Going to the Hall of Fame. It's been a long time coming for Eric Ryan. Him and TJ Dynamite both. They're actually inducting the Young Studs, the original Young Studs. But actually,
No Bobby, huh?
No Bobby. No,
Not
he's
yet,
He's not
anyways.
going in. It's not his
Okay.
time. Not his time.
Yeah, they probably want to put him in as a singles.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah, or with
sex
sex
appeal.
appeal. Yeah. So, what
I love doing these podcasts. I'm sorry.
what I
We're
wanted
having
to
a good
talk
time.
about today was, since we're talking to a guy who's in a film, which I'm really hoping it gets funded, and we're going to talk more about that going forward in this podcast, which will give you all the information about the Indiegogo, in which you can help fund a Pro Wrasslin Movie, The Legend of Dirty Ron. But I figured, since it's a movie, and we've sort of had some film celebrities appear at WrestleMania, I figured why not talk about the best and the worst celebrities of WrestleMania, because it's that time
You
of
talk
year.
about it now?
Yeah, right here.
Right now?
In front of all these people.
And this dog?
And the
That's
dog
licking
that
herself?
licks herself or
Drinks
starts
water?
drinking out of her bowl at the most inappropriate times in the podcast. Let's talk about the best and the worst celebrities of WrestleMania.
Okay.
So when you think of celebrities of WrestleMania, who do you think might have been the best celebrity of WrestleMania?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say Ricky Schroeder.
WrestleMania 2. Why do you say?
How do you know that?
Because I'm sad and pathetic.
You're so weird.
Yeah, I know.
I'm only saying that because when I was younger, when I was very young, people thought that I was Ricky Schroeder.
Oh, I could see that. Some of your old pictures.
Well, I'll send you some.
You don't have to do it
Pictures
right
of-
now.
Oh, I was going to send you right here, right now.
Yeah, we're doing a podcast. You know, you can send them to me later. I guess we could post them on the social media at Iron and
I think
Wrestling.
you'll like it.
No, I'm fine. What? So that was your favorite? Right? So,
No. I'm just
Okay.
I just brought that up.
Because it seems like a weird favorite. Because
No,
he's just
no,
like
no,
the bell
definitely.
ringer or something.
Definitely, my favorite was Lou Duva.
Wait, what? Who?
Huh? What? Huh?
Who?
Lou Duva.
Who's that?
He was in the boxing match for Mr. T. He was like his coach.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Okay, not my favorite either, but I felt he was worthy of mentioning. What?
Go on. What do you got? I see
Well,
you got some
number
notes
one
there.
is, probably, because I know everybody's going to say what everybody would say is the normal number one answer, but give me Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania 1. Cyndi Lauper. Give me Billy Martin,
Yeah,
the baseball coach.
Sure.
Who used to kick dirt on everybody, fight with everybody.
he did.
And Liberace.
You know, the celebrities of WrestleMania 1 really set the stage for not only WrestleMania going forward, but it helped create mainstream notoriety for professional wrestling. And it's interesting. This is also sort of why I wanted to talk about the celebrity thing today. You know, a lot of people are online shitting on this Bad Bunny thing. But if it wasn't for celebrities before Bad Bunny, no one would give a crap about wrestling. I mean, some people would, but it wouldn't be the media monster it is today. And I don't have a problem with the Bad Bunny thing. You know, he took the 24/7 title on Saturday Night Live. And I don't know. He's clearly passionate about wrestling. He's showing up to the show every week, doing stuff. He's going to have a match at WrestleMania. I don't see the problem with it. What about you?
I like it. And I kind of look forward to it every year. You know, I know people say, like, oh, that takes away a spot from some guy, but
No, it
fuck,
doesn't.
man. There, a lot of times when they do those multi-man, like, tag team matches and shit like that, half the people that are in it, I didn't even want to see at WrestleMania.
Right.
And I wouldn't mind seeing Bad Bunny mix it up in the ring.
Yeah, well,
I
let's
don't
see how it
give a
goes.
shit.
Like, listen, you know who I think was probably maybe the best wrestling performance at a WrestleMania?
Smoochie.
Who?
Smoochie? Remember she teamed with John Morrison, I think?
That's Snooki.
What? Her name was Snooki?
Snooki from Jersey Shore.
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous.
I believe that.
But I didn't think she was bad.
No,
Did you?
She didn't do bad.
Didn't she do a cartwheel elbow into the
Springboard
corner?
elbow gimmick? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
It looked almost as good as Muda, maybe better.
I think the best wrestling performance at WrestleMania from a celebrity was undoubtedly Floyd Money Mayweather. I mean, I think he exceeded all expectations. And if you talk about WrestleMania moments for Big Show,
Yeah.
that is Big Show's WrestleMania moment. That match
yeah.
with Floyd Mayweather.
That was good.
It was great.
I like Floyd Mayweather. I heard he took things seriously. He was a professional. I like that. I think it's hard to argue that there was a better performance. I almost want to say, like, you know what? Another one I liked was a very close personal friend of mine, Ronda Rousey.
Yes, WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
When she was with The Rock. Because originally that match was supposed to be Stephanie and Triple H versus The Rock and Ronda, which would have been great. But you know what? When Ronda made her debut and teamed with Kurt Angle, I think that was maybe the best professional debut for anyone, maybe ever, on the biggest stage of them all. It was great. It was a great match.
Yeah, I'll go with that. So I like those ones. People coming in from the MMA world, you know. If you're serious about it, Lawrence Taylor was great. He came in from professional sports, but
he did a great job.
I heard that he almost passed out on the way back to the locker room, and he was sucking wind hard.
I can imagine, and they did the smart thing by not only putting him in there with Bam Bam, someone who could carry him, but if you go back and notice, Pat Patterson's the referee, because I'm sure he's doing a lot of guiding in that match.
Right.
I'm positive that he worked with Lawrence Taylor
So
and
smart.
Bam Bam.
Yep.
When we talk about sports figures appearing at WrestleMania, though, I feel like we'd be remiss if we don't mention Pete Rose and his reoccurring act of trying to attack Kane at WrestleManias 14, 15, and 16.
Yes.
Which is tremendous.
I love that. I love the running gag or the running theme of it.
His heel promo at WrestleMania 14 is tremendous.
Oh, so good.
When he keeps
and
saying,
I don't even
how
know if
about it?
Yeah.
How about it, huh?
It's great. And plus, he's, they were in Boston, right?
Yes.
And Boston had lost the World Series to the New York Mets.
Right.
And do you know how that happened? They were up and...
The dude didn't bend down to pick up the ball or whatever. He missed it. Right?
Yeah, he committed an error.
Gotcha.
At, I believe, first base. And so Pete Rose says, I left tickets for him for WrestleMania, but he couldn't pick up the tickets.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah.
How about it? How about it, huh? I think one of my favorite WrestleMania celebrities, and just one of my favorite celebrities in general.
Elvira.
Well, I do love Elvira. She still looks great.
Hey, and what? Elvira's at WrestleMania and Halloween Havoc.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Halloween Havoc 92?
Maybe. That sounds about right.
Okay. But she's I think she's like 70. She still looks hot.
Yeah.
Not even
Would
joking.
you?
Bob Euchre is one of my favorite celebrities.
Bob Euchre, yeah.
Oh, okay. I also loved him on Mr. Belvedere, so I'm a little partial to Bob
Well,
Euchre.
his best role was in Major League.
Major League, of course, yes. But his appearances at WrestleMania 3, 4, and he had a short cameo at 26 because he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. But, man, I don't know if there's anyone cooler than Bob Euchre.
Dude, and you'll see that timeless piece. Or Andre.
Yep. Good stuff. Do you have a favorite musician from WrestleMania?
Boys to Men.
WrestleMania 15.
Aretha Franklin.
As we record this, it's March 29th, and that is the exact date of WrestleMania 3.
Alice Cooper.
WrestleMania 3 as well.
I didn't see his, he didn't do much. He didn't have much involvement.
No, he didn't.
But it was okay. I mean, like him being with Jake the Snake, that was perfect.
That was awesome.
I hated that Jake lost that match.
Yeah, that's always kind of weird, right?
Yeah. Gladys Knight.
Yeah,
Did you like her?
I wasn't too familiar with her.
Yeah, because I always felt like on this podcast, like I'm Gladys Knight, and you're the Pips.
She was at WrestleMania 4. I could tell you that. Mm-hmm. I know that.
Run DMC. That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania 5, the WrestleMania rap.
Yep.
I was almost like, wait, what year did they? I was thinking.
Yeah, that was right.
I
think it was right before or right after the intermission. Because they took like a half-hour intermission.
That was back when they had intermission. Yeah, because I remember when I watched WrestleMania 6, 7, and I think they still did it at 8. They took an intermission. So like if I go back and watch my old VHS, it's like a 15-minute break, which is just. I kind of wish they would do that now.
Oh, me too.
It'd be nice just to get up.
But actually not, because remember when we watched that WrestleMania? You, me, M-Dog, my son Micah, and I don't know if anyone else was here.
I don't know if anyone was there. Maybe a dirty, nasty Jezebel.
I don't know how nasty she was. Some of them pictures you showed me. Anyway, so all of us were here, and that WrestleMania was like 8.5 hours or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, so like you can't take an intermission when your WrestleManias are 9 hours
not
long.
These days. Do you think that Tony Chimmel, he said this at WrestleMania 19, the WWE's favorite band?
Yeah.
Do you think Limp Bizkit is still the WWE's favorite band?
You know what? AC/DC. I always heard it was Vince's favorite band.
That's Vince's favorite band. They've done so
what
many
about
songs
Motorhead?
over the year. Motorhead, yeah, they did WrestleMania 17 and WrestleMania 21 live performances
Dude,
for
you're
Triple
so
H.
weird that you know this right off the top of your head.
Dude, I'm a sad, pathetic. Let me tell you something. One of our Patreon subscribers today.
I go, oh, what about this band? And you go, yeah, WrestleMania 17 and WrestleMania 24.
Hold on. I'm so weird that one of our Patreon subscribers today, Path of Cinders, wrote me on Twitter, and this is what she says to me. Sorry to randomly DM you. Hope you're doing well. I'm trying to locate a Raw episode from probably the early 2000s. It was in an arena that was outside, and Michael Cole at the end said, "Good night from the desert." Now, I didn't actually see the part where she said arena outside, so I'm actually going to write her back because I'm going to guess it's now tribute to the troops. But she said, if you can help, awesome. If not, I understand. Be well. And I said, don't be sorry. I instantly wrote her back and said, if I had to guess, it would be the Raw with Shawn Michaels versus Chris Benoit with the subtitle Showdown in the Desert. I want to say it was in Arizona maybe, which is why it was dubbed that. She said, you are the best. And I said, on top of my head, I believe it's from May 2004. And then I looked up 1 second later and I go, just looked it up. May 3rd, 2004.
May 3rd?
Yeah.
Wow.
Something
Just keep
important
that
happened on
date
the
in
day?
mind.
Why? What's May 3rd?
Well, it's approaching rapidly.
Yeah.
Last year, you got me a cameo from Bushwhacker Luke on that day.
Oh, yeah. I remember when he molested you as a child. It's a sad situation.
I was only 14.
Okay.
I'd never had my butt fondled like that before.
Okay. How about something that I've been quite popular because I replicated
He smelled
it.
like sardines.
Okay. Willie Nelson.
He wanted to lick my head.
Willie Nelson at WrestleMania
I'm sorry.
7.
What? Yeah. Yes. Oh, that was a great guest.
And it inspired my iconic
Yes.
outfit, which every time I post it gets hundreds of likes, and it
I
always makes
know.
me happy. But I literally remember, whatever year I did that, like 2015 or whatever, I'm looking at his outfit, and I'm thinking, how has no one ever made fun of Willie Nelson for wearing this at WrestleMania? He's wearing every piece of merch that the WWF
And
has
the
to offer
best
at the
part,
time.
it's the children's styrofoam belt.
Right. It's
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. And for whatever reason, as I was examining the outfit, I go, I have that vintage WrestleMania 7 shirt, and I have that Hogan bandana, but I didn't have the styrofoam belt
Yeah.
or the glasses, but the pants he's wearing,
Yeah.
I had like the exact same color pants, and I was like, if I can give someone to give me the Bret Hart glasses and the belt, I could totally take a picture looking like Willie Nelson. I'll just buy. There's got to be a Willie Nelson wig, so I looked it up. There was a Willie Nelson pigtail wig,
Of course.
And I had a friend of the show, Justin Summers. He had the sunglasses and the belt, so I met up with him and I said, "I'll give these right back to you in a couple days." I took the picture, and now every year it gets a bunch of likes.
And you never gave back to him, huh?
I definitely gave him back the sunglasses
Okay.
and the
I
belt.
didn't think you were responsible enough. I do want to mention this. Do you remember that those Bret Hart sunglasses were big on the Home Shopping Network?
I know that they appeared on there. I didn't know they were a big deal on there.
Yeah. I mean, they had hundreds of them, but one day they took the price down to like 50 cents a pair.
What?
Yeah, they slashed it. My dad bought 20 pairs. He's never bought anything on the Home Shopping Network. He happened to be just flipping through the channels, and he saw it. So, like, me and all my friends and my cousins and everybody, we all had a pair of the Hitman glasses.
Where are they now? Come on, man. You got them for 50 cents. You don't have them anymore?
I definitely don't have them anymore.
Dude, you'd get so much money for those Bret Hart sunglasses.
I get that. However, you know, I remember I had a major flood in one of my houses that I owned because I'm an adult. And the glasses sadly perished in the accident.
Who do you think is the worst celebrity to ever appear at WrestleMania?
Donald Trump.
Well,
I mean, that's probably going to alienate half of the listeners, but
I didn't think about that. But
I just remember him sitting there, and he just like he never. Okay, so in WrestleMania's 4 and 5, is that right?
yeah, 4
Okay,
or 5, and he appears at 7 as well because Marla Maples is there, who he was married to at the time.
Oh,
which
yeah,
I
I
love
wish
me
I
some
was
Marla
married
Maples.
to her. Yeah. So in 4 and 5, he just sits there, stoic. You know, he's not really reacting, and they show him, and he just, to me, he looked like a dick.
Yeah.
And then he gives that awesome lariat to Vince when he's in Bob Lashley's corner.
Yeah, 23.
Yeah.
He was also at 20. I forgot about that.
He was at 20? What was he
Yeah.
doing there?
He was in the crowd at Madison Square Garden.
Oh.
That's the same WrestleMania in which Jesse Ventura got inducted to the Hall of Fame and said, I think the White House needs a wrestler in 2008 or whatever he says.
Yeah, and then somebody that was a wrestler that was in the Hall of Fame ended up becoming president.
Oh, boy.
So
Moving on.
there was that. Let me see.
I have a vote for the worst. I'm going to say Cy Sperling at WrestleMania 10.
I thought you'd say Jonathan Taylor.
Heck no, I loved Home Improvement.
I know.
And he was in The Lion King. Come on, man. I wish they would have got Tim Allen, too. That would have been great.
I wish they would have got that guy. You could only ever see the top of his eyes or something.
Wilson? Oh, man.
I have
Wilson's
no
great.
idea.
That's his name, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Home Improvement. Watch it all the time.
I'd probably watch it twice.
But Cy Sperling.
Wait, somebody else from Home Improvement was in WrestleMania.
Pam Anderson.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead with your...
No, I just want to say Cy Sperling was terrible. I mean, he shows up because he was if you guys don't know, for the younger audience that listens, he was he was a member of the Hair Club for Men, but he wasn't just a member, he was also a client.
Yes.
He was the guy that founded Hair Club for Men, and he appeared at WrestleMania 10 to basically promote Hair Club for Men, but he, in reality, just gave Howard Fink a wig in which he wore for the remainder of the pay-per-view for some reason.
And right around that time, I remember Hulk Hogan did an interview, and somebody said, so what about all these Hair Club for Men type deals?
Yeah.
And Hogan said, I have millions of dollars, and I'm Hulk Hogan. Do you think if there was something that could actually grow hair back, I wouldn't have already grown hair back?
Yep.
I cover it every week with a bandana because I'm bald.
That's a very good point.
So,
Worst celebrity, give it to me.
I don't know. You know, I liked Morton Downey Jr.,
Oh, yeah, WrestleMania 5.
but that was a weird segment because it went on so fucking long.
It did go on long.
Yeah. Okay. Who was your... Let me ask you this. Who was your least favorite Hart at WrestleMania? Was it Owen? Was it Owen as the Blue Blazer? Was it Bret Hart? Was it Jimmy Hart? Was it...
I'm going to say, since we're talking about celebrities, I'm going to say Mary Hart.
There we go.
I think that's what you wanted.
Boy, that's such a
WrestleMania
write-up.
3.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, did you think she was a bad celebrity? She was
No.
very famous
I
for
just had to fit
Entertainment
that in
Tonight.
the segment before we
Gotcha.
ended it.
Okay. Mike Tyson obviously is...
Worst? Yeah.
No, he's...
Man, he sucked.
He's probably the reason why the WWF is still a thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
That was awesome. He was great. Everybody talks about that all the time, so I didn't even want to bring that up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't have to go into detail about it, but it just...
How good was he, though?
Amazing.
What about the ripping off of the shirt leading into it?
That reveal happened in Cleveland.
Yeah. Did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I loved it. I wanted some more of it.
What about Tyson doing the chops?
I mean, it was always ridiculous. That and him saying Cold Stone.
Yeah.
Just...
Well, he liked ice cream.
He was a big fan.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
We talked about Pam Anderson. I
Yeah.
mean, well,
Touched on it.
you touched on Pam Anderson?
I never physically touched her, no.
I wonder what that'd be like.
Okay.
But she was up there, okay? That dress she wore, all that?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
It was a big deal.
But what about Jenny McCarthy?
I always loved
That's
Jenny
when I
McCarthy.
first
Singled out?
noticed her.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Playboy had this, like a 30-minute VHS of Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if two of us purchased that VHS, but I know one of us did for sure.
Okay. Wow.
Along with the Pam Anderson one, because I wanted to have the whole WrestleMania edition.
You're a real sicko.
And I had the Vanna White Playboy.
Oh, yeah, Vanna White, WrestleMania 4.
Yeah.
Who would forget?
Oh.
Bob Euchre had a crush on her at WrestleMania 4, which was much better than him having a crush on Moolah the previous year, which I always found disturbing.
I didn't mind it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just weird because I'm like, why are you? I mean, I was a little kid, but I was like,
who has a
ew,
crush on Moolah?
Moolah? Like, oh, that's the only woman you guys book on the show. Like, he should have picked a Federette
Yeah.
at that point when they were still a thing.
I don't know. I mean, if I was him, you could have picked somebody else like Slick or something.
You know what a terrible, pointless celebrity at WrestleMania was? Al Roker, WrestleMania 33.
Oh, yeah. Did you ever see that? I met him a couple years ago.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Another picture I'll send you that you can post.
Okay.
I was randomly at, well, I wasn't randomly at, but I was at my son's, my son wanted to do hip-hop dance, my youngest son.
Okay.
And he wanted to rap and do hip-hop dance. So I signed him up for some hip-hop dance classes.
Okay.
So they had a performance out in, was it Avon? Or anyway, somewhere near here in Ohio. And I walked in, and the person that was emceeing the event said, "Hey, and if you're trying to buy raffle tickets, Al Roker has them." I was like, how is this a thing? And I walked up and I said, "Hey, nice to meet you." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "You got a child in this event?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Yeah, me too." Well, he said, "It's my niece, but, I come out here to watch." And I said, "This is random."
Very random.
Yeah. And then we took a picture together. And I'm not completely convinced it was actually Al Roker. But he was advertised as Al Roker. It was like the indiest thing ever.
Okay.
He was like Al, but with like two A's or something.
Wait, so was it not Al Roker?
I don't believe it was, but I never got confirmation.
Okay.
It was like AAL Roker.
Come on, you'd have to know. You're like the a dumbass who would go to the show in the 90s and be like, "Oh my God, Stone Cold Steve Austin's beer can. I'm going to sell this on eBay." And it's fucking even colder Mike Austin, clearly.
Don't talk bad about Mike Austin.
I will say whatever I want about Mike Austin. All right?
Oh, we miss him.
R.I.P. Okay. Any other celebrities you want to mention?
The San Diego Chicken.
Made 2 appearances at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Which I didn't. Wait, at WrestleMania 15, was it a different chicken? It was the San Diego Chicken at WrestleMania 16 because they were in Anaheim.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't have made any sense for the San Diego Chicken to be in WrestleMania 15 was in Philly.
Well, I don't remember shit.
Whatever. They did a chicken gimmick 2 years in a row because of Pete Rose. But
He should have been Gobbledygooker.
definitely should have been Gobbledygooker.
I'm booking it right now. Can we run a show?
Might as well. Listen, I'm sad that they stopped doing
shit.
the bit with.
Sorry,
Pete
hold on.
Rose.
I
What?
sold the rights to Burning River Wrestling, so
God damn
we'd
it.
have to come
Okay.
up with a whole different name.
Bringing that up again.
Maybe I can repurchase it.
Okay, here's another pick for the worst celebrity, and we're going to end it here. Do you remember Herb?
From Wendy's or something?
I mean, I love Wendy's. Do you love Wendy's?
I love Wendy's.
Wendy's nuts hit your chin?
Oh.
No,
What?
Herb was from Burger King's Where's Herb
That's, yeah.
advertisement
same fucking thing.
campaign. And I also think they had the Where's the Beef lady?
Wendy's was Where's the Beef? Yeah. And
Why
I
did
think,
they do that at the same WrestleMania? That seems like a conflict of
I think
interest.
they were going to have them wrestle each other.
The Wendy's old lady
Yeah.
and Herb from Burger King. You think that was a match? I wish
I
they
would have
would
done.
have.
I would have done an arm wrestling match or something.
I wish they would have done that actually. But Where's Herb? It was like a big campaign in the 80s. So Herb appears at WrestleMania 2 as a guest timekeeper. But I mention it's so dumb. He does like a little dance in the
What
ring.
do we want? See what Herb's up to.
Yeah, like I want to know what Herb got paid at WrestleMania 2. But I bring up Where's Herb because There's been quite the situation as of late, Aaron. It's a very serious situation.
Oh, no.
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where is Eddy Only?
Well, I've been trying to get this tattoo. As you know, we made this deal with Conrad Thompson.
We did.
Of, I don't know, he's got a couple little podcasts or whatever.
Yeah, he actually...
I tried to give him a little rub.
Yeah.
I tried to put him over.
Sure.
Made a bet with him. A bet that maybe I knew I was going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just trying to help out others. Because it seems like we're kind of the kings of the podcast industry.
Okay, that's an exaggeration.
Your mom's an exaggeration.
She's deceased.
Okay. That's not an exaggeration. She's really dead.
Couldn't be more dead, actually.
Okay. As is mine. But I wanted to get a tattoo, if I lost this bet, of one of the logos of Conrad Thompson's many, many podcasts.
Yeah.
Lesser-known podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all set to get it, and COVID attacked me from behind. A Pearl Harbor job, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
A Donnybrook.
Feel
A
like
Pier 6 brawl.
Feel like you can't say Pearl Harbor job anymore, but...
I meant the movie.
Oh, okay. Nice save there. I guess we can keep it in. Continue.
Okay, Ben Affleck was great in that. And as well as Batman.
Yeah.
And Mallrats.
Uh-huh.
Chasing Amy as well.
Yeah,
So
he was a shit in Phantoms.
Yo. Okay, so I want to get this tattoo. Got attacked from behind by COVID. I was out for, what,
Couple
8 to 10 weeks?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like 2 weeks, but...
It was not 2 weeks. It was. I was off work for.
You were off work
almost
for
a
a while.
year.
Yeah.
Almost
What?
a year.
No.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm better now.
Yeah.
And I'm healthy. And for the last, I would say, 3 weeks, I've been trying to get a hold of one Mr. Edward Only, the one and only, and I just can't get a hold of him. He has not returned a call, a text message, a naked Snapchat.
What?
Nothing.
Well, none of us can find him either. He hasn't responded to any of our messages or anything. But it's funny that you bring up Conrad, because when I was looking for a guest this week, because I had someone drop out, he commented on my post, and he said, you should get a tattoo artist as a guest.
Son of a bitch. I fucking told you. We got to get this shit taken care of.
We're going to get it taken care
No,
of.
if we can't get...
It's fine. Listen,
I'm getting real heated right now.
Listen.
Let
Well,
me call Conrad.
I'm heated that I can't find my friend Eddy Only.
Did you tell him?
I said we're working on it. So, listen. We need tips from you to find Eddy Only. You, the listener. So, we've created a hotline. Me and the boys at 440. We have the Eddy Only hotline. If you have any information on the whereabouts of Eddy Only, you need to call the following number. 440-296-9242. That's 440-296-9242. And if you have any information that is of usefulness to us, we'll play it on the show, which we're going to do right now. So here's a sampling of some of the tips and sightings that we've had for one Eddy Only.
Eddie's in Camden, New Jersey, training with Nick fucking Gage, the king of this shit, to take back his title. MDK all fucking day.
Penis. Hey guys, Eddie fucked my mom the other day. That was pretty fucked up. So yeah, he was around, but I don't really want to talk about it too much. Horrible, horrible noises. Yeah, good luck in finding them, I guess.
Well, those were some insightful tips, and it really warmed my heart hearing those. And Eddie, if you're out there and you hear this, buddy, we miss you, and we just want you to come home safe. All right, we love you. we love you. And
we love you.
I do.
And we love you too.
Sorry, I'm at loss for words here.
Well, he's lost.
He is.
And I feel like I'm lost in emotion.
It's gonna be okay.
Is that Lisa and Cult Jam?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Eddie, I need this fucking tattoo. And I want to give you the business. And I think you're the only one that could do the tattoo. You're the one and only.
I see what you did there.
That's what I did.
And
come home, Eddie.
Let's
come home to the 440. I'm not in it.
No, you're not.
I don't do bullshit wrestling anymore.
Okay. Well, let's get this podcast back on track. Let's talk about something maybe not as serious, but it's definitely no laughing matter. Aaron, it's time for Hulk Hogan's Lie of the Week.
Bro, you're a fucking jabron, man. Who the fuck are you?
Hulk, fuck, bro. Yo, why the fuck do you have to put me on the spot like this? I will tell you, I'm fucking Gregory, man. The Gregster, you fucking son of a bitch.
Yes. Hulk Hogan alone. Just one spray and you bring you home. Just one spray and you're gone. Hulk Hogan alone. Woo! You like the smell of Hulk Hogan. You like the smell of Hulk Hogan. You like the smell of Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan alone.
Hulk Hogan's Lie of the Week. Aaron, we've talked about some celebrities at WrestleMania. One of those celebrities that we talked about was...
Smoochie.
No.
Snooki.
We did talk about her, but we talked about, for a second, Lou Ferrigno, who appeared at WrestleMania 7. What do you know about Lou Ferrigno? What is he most known for?
Man. He's most known for... might have been one of my first favorite television shows ever.
Sure.
It's called The Incredible Hulk. You ever hear of it?
That is correct. I have heard of it.
And it featured a man by the name of either David Banner or Bruce Banner.
Bruce Banner.
Okay, who was David Banner?
Not sure.
Because I think in the comics he was called David Banner. Is that wrong?
I feel like it's wrong.
Okay, maybe somewhere else. But I knew I was always confused by, was he David Banner or was he Bruce Banner? So he's Bruce Banner?
Yes.
Okay, but that wasn't Lou Ferrigno. Was it?
No, it was played by someone else. Lou Ferrigno only played the Hulk.
Yeah. So it was difficult for him to not be as huge as he was.
I would imagine that would be a problem.
And plus his skin was green. That's weird.
It wasn't green in real life. But regardless, He was a very, very large man.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're thinking to yourself, well, how did Terry Bollea become Hulk Hogan? Well,
he was the Incredible Hulk Hogan for the beginning of his babyface run in WWF.
Correct. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit of the backstory from Hogan's own words. Let's go to that right now.
If we're talking about the character, it's much better than the man Terry Bollea, which is me. It's the best of the best of all the positive characters, and it was kind of stumbled upon. I started out wrestling around the Pensacola, Florida area, Georgia, Alabama area, and I happened to go stumble into a talk show to promote Mobile, Alabama, a local talk show, and Lou Ferrigno happened to be there. As I sat next to him on the set, everything worked out great. When I went back to the dressing room last night, all the guys in the dressing room said, "My God, you're bigger than Lou Ferrigno, the Incredible Hulk." So they started calling me Terry the Hulk Boulder. So the Hulk name kind of was sneaking into my stage name, Terry Boulder.
Now, that interview was to promote the Legends of Wrestling 2 video game. It appeared as an extra, I believe, on the PlayStation 2. Very interesting backstory to how he became Hulk Hogan. He was bigger than Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Well, in 1993, Hulk Hogan made an appearance on a UK children's television show. And actually,
don't do this to me.
What?
You're going to crush my dreams.
One of the children asked Hulk Hogan... Well, I'll just play the clip for you.
Hello, Josh.
Hello.
How are you? All right, you're through to Hulk. I'll ask you a question.
Where does the name Hulk Hogan come from?
The name Hulk Hogan?
Well, I was just Hogan for a while, and many years ago there was a TV show called The Incredible Hulk, and we were on the same TV show together, and I arm wrestled him and I beat him. So they started calling me the Hulk. That's how it happened.
Excellent. You didn't have to go green either. Thank you very much, Josh.
Well, there you have it. So now he apparently was on the same TV show, and he arm wrestled Lou Ferrigno and beat him. The most interesting thing about all of this, both stories, I can't find any shred of evidence that Lou Ferrigno or Hulk Hogan appeared on the same talk show at the same time. And I can't find it, but I'm positive that I heard another clip and or read in his book, so I'll have to double check, that he claims this talk show that he appeared on was in Alabama, but I've heard in other interviews him claim it was in Memphis, which might make sense too, because he did wrestle in Memphis, if you recall from our previous lie, in front of Elvis, who was a big fan of the Hulkster.
After he was dead.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Is Lou Ferrigno still alive?
Yeah, still alive.
Let's contact him.
We could try.
Yeah. Let's put a little something out there.
I feel like he's not the biggest fan of wrestling these days, especially since
it doesn't have to be.
The World Bodybuilding Federation thing.
Oh, that was awesome.
He was not a fan of them not using steroids, so he was very upset.
Did they not use steroids though?
No, they didn't, because
they were using IcoPro.
Just IcoPro, yeah. Because it was right when Vince starts the Bodybuilding Federation, and then everybody has to be drug-free because they're being investigated. So Lou Ferrigno was not happy about that.
And he wanted, from what I understand, everybody to be painted green. That's
an Aaron Bauer lie of the week.
Shit, you got me.
Actually, as a bonus,
you got me, brother.
As a bonus, I have one additional lie for you.
What?
Yeah.
Is it my birthday now?
No, it involves someone that is actually appearing at the upcoming RSP Spring Break down in Tampa, Florida in about 8 days from now. I want to play this clip for you real quick. It's from the newest inductee in 440. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Virgil Lie of the Week.
I did 17 WrestleManias, 20 years in the WWF wrestling.
So Virgil, he did appear very often at WrestleMania. But do you think he actually appeared at 17, Aaron? And do you think he had 20 years in the WWF, mathematically?
Mathematically, things don't add up. Okay? But knowing Virgil, as I do, he may be confused on the number because he's thinking of the inches of his meat.
Not necessary.
17.
Don't have to go there.
20?
So Virgil,
is he either?
If you want to count when he was doing jobs in 86, Virgil would have been in the WWF from 1986 to 1994. And obviously he came back for a short stint with Ted DiBiase Jr., I believe, in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
But 86 to 94 is not 20 years. And his appearances, and again, I'm not even looking at notes here, his appearance at WrestleMania would include 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Well, by my math, that's plus 3 divided by 4, and remainder of 2.
It's not 17.
It's 20 minus 3. What's that come to?
Even though Virgil's a liar, we're still going to induct him into 440 because he is a legend of sorts.
Right.
So that was a little bonus for you guys here.
Are you guys bringing in Dawn, too?
Who?
Dawn Decadence?
Nobody remembers Dawn Decadence, man.
You do.
I do.
You
from
didn't.
Pro Wrestling Ohio.
Yeah.
For one second, I thought you were talking about Dawn that used to edit the show or put the video in the thing at Sports Time Ohio.
She worked for NBC or whatever, right? She's the one that came up and she got me a limo one time, and then she got me a Corvette one time.
Oh, yeah, for Resolution 2.
Yes, and then the last Resolution, she got me one of those cars that runs on like air or something. What vegetables? It didn't take gas. I don't know what it took, but it was only big enough to hold Marion Fontaine. I'm pretty sure.
It's ridiculous.
Do you remember that at all?
I don't remember that. No.
Okay.
Well, I remember Dawn, and she's actually the one that gave me all of the original tapes for Cleveland All Pro Wrestling, which we've been uploading up to patreon.com/IronOnWrestling.
Are you still in contact with her?
I've not talked to her in years. I hope she's doing well.
Me too.
But patreon.com/IronOnWrestling, I'm sure you've heard of it. We talk about it quite often. It's got a bunch of bonus content. In fact, a buttload of bonus content that you can listen to and watch starting at $3. We give you a bunch of bonus episodes. In fact, I was going back and looking to see how many bonus episodes we have. Aaron, we almost have 100 bonus episodes since we began this podcast.
100?
Yeah, 100 bonus episodes.
Wow, wow, wee, wow.
Plus, we have extended editions of this episode that you're listening to right now, and all of the other episodes. They're longer. They come out a day early instead of the podcast dropping on Wednesday.
I'll give you something longer, and I'll come early.
That's unnecessary.
Why? What do you mean?
Oh, my God. If you go up to the $5 tier, you get a bunch of video content. In fact, full-length shows.
And the possibility of an alpaca sniffing your mustache.
That could be a thing that happens. You get involved in the monthly Zoom call, which we just did this past weekend, which is always a fun time. The $9 tier gets you involved in picking a bonus podcast subject, which is where we get a lot of our bonus topics, of course. And then if you go up and up and up to $20 and up, you're going to get something in the mail every other month from us, the next month being April. So subscribe now, upgrade if you haven't to the $20 and up tier. You can even podcast in studio with me and Aaron. It's a fun time, and more important than creating the content, we're creating a fun wrestling community, and that's what it's all about. It's almost
You said April?
April, yeah. We're sending out a new package for all of our subscribers.
I remember one time I gave a girl named April a package.
Okay, we're not going to talk about that. Or maybe we'll talk about it on Patreon, but we're not going to talk about it here on iTunes or wherever you download your podcast. Patreon.com/IronOnWrestling. I don't know what's happening right now.
Breaking news.
Okay, so what's this?
I'm Aaron Bauer, and I am bringing you breaking news here on the Iron on Wrestling podcast.
All right.
I have just been informed by sources that are very reliable, that are close to me, that the Peacock Network is or has been censoring things.
That is a fact. That came out days ago. Sure.
And now they have taken under consideration censoring anytime RVD appears on the screen. It will be bleeped out when they say he's Rob Van Dam. And he will now just be called Rob Van.
What?
Rob Van.
I don't...
There's also a possibility they could revert to his name being Robbie V.
Okay.
A lot of voiceover work coming for the network.
Uh-huh.
Also, they're going to censor themselves.
What?
Yes. No longer to be known as the Peacock Network. They will now be known as the P Network.
I don't get it.
They're not allowed to say cock anymore.
Oh, right.
And speaking of cocks, Hulk Hogan's genitalia will be censored out. You know how they used to do with the big gold belt?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be digitized.
For what reason?
Because it's so mammoth. Now, if it were Terry Bollea walking to the ring, they would not have to censor that or digitize it because he's 4 inches. But the python in his trunks, 10 inches, and some may argue 24 inches.
Okay. Well, I feel like
his arms aren't the only things there. You know,
I don't know
24
why you're
inches.
doing this. You're just making things up.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Aaron Bauer with your breaking news.
Okay. Well, I'm done with this now. So, tell you what, let's go to...
It was your bit.
What?
Your idea.
It's not my idea.
You definitely texted me and called me and said, we should do a bit where you do breaking news and come in.
Shut the fuck up. We're going to go to a word from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to have the interview with Dirty Ron McDonald. What?
Is one of our sponsors my good buddy Juan of the Ortiz.
Yes, you know that's one of the sponsors.
I love that guy. Hey, so as you know, on a serious note, my son's best friend passed away earlier this week.
That's awful.
Yes, and my son and his friends, there was a group of them, and they all want to do something to commemorate the loss of their friend. I reached out to Juan to see if we get a T-shirt made.
Mm-hmm.
Juan is such an excellent dude. He's working on it now, and I don't want to give you all the details because I don't know that he wants anybody to know anything. I just want everybody to know Juan's the fucking man, okay? And if you need something done, get at your boy. You know, contact him. He's always been good to us. He does cool shit.
Yeah.
And he's just good peoples.
He is. Of the Dead Designs, that's where you want to go for great designs.
Wait, what?
What?
It's Of the Dead Designs?
Yes.
It's not Juan of the Ortiz?
You're an actual moron. Let's go to our commercials. You'll hear more about Juan Ortiz. You'll hear about Jesse Massey. When we come back, we're going to talk to Dirty Ron McDonald and his film, The Legend of Dirty Ron.
Hey, Virginia.
Hey, Dad.
If we were a wrestling tag team, what would we be called?
Probably Dumbass and Fugly.
Ooh, well, that's a little too on the nose. But also, when we become big wrestling superstars, who would be able to have us? They can't have swear words on broadcast TV.
Fuck it.
All right, fuck it, ladies and gentlemen. How about Vicious and Delicious?
Ew.
Which one are you? Wait a second. How about Fergalicious and Delicious? How does that sound?
I guess.
All right, we'll get those boys down the block just to show them what we've got. Right?
I guess.
Okay, what else could we have?
Maybe Buff and Tough?
Buff and Tough. I'm sure that's out there somewhere, but we're both buff. Well, you're tough.
I'm not tough.
You're tougher than I am, but we're both working out, focused on our fitness. Maybe we should just be Fergalicious, and that's it. But any other ideas?
Fire nice!
Shout out to True Jackson VP. That's one of my favorite things that makes me laugh every time. Now, what if we were to tag with Gregory Iron?
Iron, Wood, and Putter?
Ooh, that's a stretch. And we've already got a golf wrestler. But, hey, we're trying here. Maybe that'll work. We'll have to see if Gregory signs off on it.
Well, what if we were to tag team with Aaron?
Ooh, how about Respect and Reject? Who would we be?
We'd be Respect.
Duh, obviously. But, you know what we're really here to talk about?
TV and a movie.
You've heard us before. We're bridging that generation gap. Even though everyone thinks we're the same age, I'm a little bit older.
Who thinks that?
Somebody has to think that. They say I have boyishly good looks. Hello?
I think you're crazy.
Ugh. But you know what's not crazy? We take turns showing each other movies
that we need to see.
What are our different segments that we have? We've talked about some of them before. We've got
fun facts,
where you learn things you needed to know about the movie or didn't know.
We have movie snacks.
What's your favorite movie snack?
Popcorn and Milk Duds.
Together?
No.
All right, that's fair. How about Raisinets? Yum, yum, yum.
Get out of here.
Or we have our random office quote. We haven't even talked about that. Our best friend gives you a random office quote so that you can enjoy that show just as much as we do.
We even have music spotlights.
We have original artists where we will play their music and we will love on them and promote them. And we talk about the best and worst things in the movie. So many things. But last week we talked about our stellar social media. What else is on that social media that they might want to know about?
Photoshop by Virginia.
So, our very own Virginia, the V in TV and a movie, takes movie posters and pictures, maybe even better than Gregory himself, will take those and craft those. Where did you learn how to Photoshop?
I was self-taught.
Self-taught. You will see if you go to TV and a movie on
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
You will see her work. You can even go to Photoshop by Virginia. There's a page out there. You can hire her to do your Photoshop, and you will not regret that decision. Is that correct?
I hope so.
All right. Well, If they pay you, you better do a damn good job.
I would definitely try.
But you know who else does a good job?
Who?
Well, I was going to say us, but that might be false advertising. But we try to give you the best. We do it pretty good. So, check out TV and a Movie on those social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And anything else you'd like to add?
I'm good.
All right, she's good. We hope you're good and that you listen to us at TV and a Movie.
If you're in the pro wrestling or entertainment industry, you probably realize how important it is to have merchandise. Not only does it help you when it comes to bringing in additional revenue for yourself, but the look and feel of merch is a representation of the brand you're building. So you definitely don't want it to suck. Now you're probably asking yourself, well, where can I find a reliable and reputable artist that'll make me a solid t-shirt or pin design that'll make me look and feel like a superstar? Well, I've got the answer for you. Of the Dead Designs. Of the Dead Designs is a one-man merch company ran by artist Juan Ortiz. Now his name may not be familiar to you, but his artwork should be, because you've likely seen his designs on TV and Hot Topic, and he's created some of the highest-selling shirt designs in Pro Wrestling Tees history. Of the Dead Designs has created artwork for the biggest names in WWE, AEW, ROH, Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and beyond. I'm talking guys like Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, CM Punk, The Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Road Warrior, Animal, the Lucha Brothers, Jungle Boy, even yours truly. Now you're probably saying, whoa, I'm not in the league of the Young Bucks or Hulk Hogan, brother. There's no way I can afford artwork from Of the Dead Designs. Well, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. Because Of the Dead Designs is affordable. Juan isn't just looking to create art for the superstars of today. He wants to make it for the superstars of tomorrow as well. And look, Of the Dead Designs doesn't just do artwork for wrestlers. He'll create merch for your band, your podcast, your dance troupe, your kids' pee-wee football team, your daughter's school bake sale. Heck, got a girl that you're afraid to talk to, but you stalk on Instagram and like all of her photos at around 2 or 3 a.m. and you've been hoping that she get the hint like, hey, I really like you, but she has yet to slide in your DMs, and now you think, well, I got to take it to the next level, so you get Of the Dead Designs to use a photo of her and her ex-boyfriend as a reference to create artwork, but you replace the ex's face with your face and then present this custom artwork to the chick with hopes that she'll kiss you directly on the lips. Of the Dead Designs will do that for you. With over 14 years of experience and a portfolio of clients that speaks for itself, Of the Dead Designs will make your artwork at a reasonable price. And hey, if you mention this ad, you'll save $10 on your first design. Of the Dead Designs still has spots open for 2020, so you gotta act fast. If you're interested in a design, contact Of the Dead Designs right now on Instagram at ofthedead209, on Facebook at facebook.com/ofthedeaddesigns, or at his website, ofthedead.weebly.com. Of the Dead Designs, bringing artwork to life. Hey guys, I got a last-minute addition to the podcast today. We were checking the Eddy Only voicemail hotline, and I got a special message from one particular ass jack, and I'm going to play it now.
440. It's unfortunate that you had to deal with me. You had to deal with Effy, and you fell right into the trap. It's kind of embarrassing, guys. I mean, what did you think was going to happen? And really, my concerns now are with, what I had to deal with Greg. You know, I've tolerated Greg for a long time, and I knew I'd have to play along real nice if I was going to join 440, but the fact is, Greg had me sign a bunch of stuff. Greg had me signing his shoulder, talking about he might get a tattoo of my signature now. I think that Greg got a little too excited by the situation, and now he won't leave me alone. So I don't know where Eddy Only is. Maybe you guys should be riding the trains, but as far as Greg goes, listen. Joining 440 was just something I had to do to cause the mayhem necessary to get you guys off your game. But Greg can't get over it. And Greg won't leave me alone. Greg, stay out of my life.
Yeah, okay, Effy, that was a great voicemail there. Real creative, just making up shit. First of all, I have 0 tattoos. And if I were to get a tattoo, it would probably be something ridiculous like, I don't know, Bart Simpson shitting out a Ninja Turtle. I would never, ever, ever
get anyone's name, especially your name. Okay, so stop being so delusional. We know that there's so many of you delusional fucks within professional wrestling. It's unfortunate, Effy, that you've become one of them. You have to make up stuff just so you stay relevant. You have to create your own awards to make yourself feel important. And the most relevant thing you've done in the last 2 to 3 years is join 440 for an hour. So congratulations to you for all of your success for literally 1 hour. And now you get an extra 2 minutes of fame by being on my podcast. Cool, man. See you soon. Say some shit like this to my face.
Today I'm super pumped because our guest is the one and only Dirty Ron, but not only just the Dirty Ron that stars in his own movie, a pro wrestling movie, The Legend of Dirty Ron. And Ron, I'm so ecstatic to have you on the show today and talk this movie and talk about your career. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. You know, it's kind of like an indie promoter that puts the belt on himself. I'm starring in my own movie. And, well, there's some other people in the film too, like recent Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Rob Van Dam. I got a lot of wrestlers in this movie. It's called a Pro Wrestling Movie, The Legend of Dirty Ron, a movie made by pro wrestling fans for pro wrestling fans.
It's awesome. I saw the trailer. I saw you got the Indiegogo for it. Talk to me about the inspiration behind actually writing and creating this film, because I'll be honest with you, there are many times when I get a bug up my ass and I want to write something. I love writing, and I have these wrestling ideas for like little skits or short films or long films, but I don't have the courage to do it. So like, what inspired you to actually create this film?
Balls the size of grapefruits. I don't know, but for real. So I started wrestling in April of the year 2000. I did backyard wrestling with Matt Sydal. We all started together. Matt Sydal, Delirious, Daisy Hayes, Mischief, Diamondback Dingo. A bunch of us started in St. Louis around the year 2000, 2001. And, I run a shitty indie wrestling promotion out of San Diego called Fist Combat. But all of that, it was just like, how can I make the train keep going? I'm 37 years old. You're past your 30-year-old mark. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep this ride going. So I started seriously doing stand-up comedy like 7 years ago. That's how I started working with Rob. Actually, it was not through wrestling, through comedy. And I was like, well, how can we keep this going? So being inspired by Blue Demon and El Santo movies, I was like, why aren't professional wrestlers making shitty indie wrestling movies now? So, I saw that. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I know how to turn on a camera. That's about it. So I found my friend Pablo Romero Estevez, who shot a lot of indie wrestling for Wildcat, for Bumps and Bruises, for a bunch of different promotions. And I was like, Pablo, you don't know how to turn on a camera. I barely do. Let's make a movie, And he was like, don't waste my time. What do you got? Because like, shit, so many, but everybody's got a great idea. So you write it down. So he was like, write down the story. And thankfully I kind of already had a story put together, and then he turned it into a script. And then it went from, okay, so you're about indie wrestling. We had an idea with about $10,000 to $15,000. We were going to take some cameras, some lights, like an indie wrestling show, put it together, put it up on Fight TV or something, have it that quality. But then as we started getting into this, we were like, well, we could make this way better. We could make this Netflix quality. So our $10,000, $15,000 project became a $50,000 project, 50. That tapped me out of pretty much of my entire savings. And now we're looking for the wrestling world to support it.
Yeah, and I mean, you got some big stars in this film. So talk to me about all the people that are appearing in this movie. You're employing over 20 pro wrestlers, both from the past and the present.
So that was very important to me too. I know we talked about this before you hit record. It was important to me to get many different genres and many different generations. For instance, a lot of the characters in the movie are fast food puns. I'm Dirty Ron McDonald, which obviously is whatever. My best friend is Burger King Jr. My love crush is Katie Forbes playing Wendy. My roommates are the Jack in the Box and that scam burglar. Like we have them all. But not only that, we have in comedy, Tommy Chong's doing a cameo in this thing. Tommy Chong's the originator of stoner comedies. We have current comedians that are touring, headlining all over the country now. And then when it come to wrestling, it was important to me to get people that, well, Rob Van Dam, I guess, technically represents the last generation. Guys like us, Mecha Wolf, Matt Sydal, we represent the current generation. Wrestlers like Miranda Alizé, who is on AEW Dark and getting all over the indies now, she represents the next generation. So it's very important to me to get not only different genres, but different generations in those genres, so everybody can enjoy this film, not just pro wrestling fans.
Yeah. No, now, your connection with RVD, that sort of stemmed from your stand-up comedy. Am I correct?
Yeah. Obviously big fan. I saw he was doing comedy in Bakersfield. I was living in Santa Cruz at the time. I just saw him booked on a show. So I was like, fuck it, I'll drive down. It's 5 hours away. My favorite wrestler of all time. I drove down there. The booker put me on the show. I got to talk to him and I was like, hey, let's do some shows. So what I did is the first show I booked it for was actually 6 years ago yesterday. The night before Macho Man got inducted to the Hall of Fame, I put on the Million Macho Man comedy show with Rob Van Dam, Lanny Poffo, Colt Cabana, fucking Marty DeRosa. I was on there doing my Macho Man impression. My, oh yeah, Macho Madness in the house, digging the snipped into it.
That's amazing.
And
that's so
good.
good.
I like that's where it started, and we just started working together from there. And fuck, man, it's cool. It's a wild ride that I'm enjoying every minute of.
Yeah, dude, RVD is a man. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a few times and having conversation with him, and he's just hilarious and just laid back and cool. And as we're recording this earlier today, RVD got announced for the Hall of Fame. I think that's only going to put more. Not only is it special for Rob, but I think it's going to help put an extra spotlight on the film.
Maybe. I don't want it to take away from that. What a fucking honor it is. And I don't know if it's me not being a horrible person all the time or whatever it is, but he got thrown into the Hall of Fame as, looking at this class of Hall of Fame, no offense to Great Khali or any of the other, any other great names that were mentioned for this year's Hall of Fame. Rob Van Dam's got to be the head of this class. First, the sixth ever Grand Slam champion, first ever ECW WWE champion, man. What an honor it is to work with such a cool guy that is everything he says. Everything everybody ever says he is. One of the coolest guys ever. Stayed an extra day on set because he knew we didn't finish everything we needed to do. I don't want to fucking rat him out here, but he did it. He stayed extra for no additional pay, man. Like this is a dude who, if he's involved with something, he cares about it. It's not just a regular show. It's not just a payday. It's not just I'm showing up and I'm doing my thing. If he's going to be RVD, he's going to show up and he's going to do that shit. And he fucking murdered it, Greg. He wasn't, and this was the coolest part, really. Not that he got in a dumpster for something that I wrote. That was cool. But what was cool is that he wasn't RVD in the film. People put pictures around because he had gray hair. He looked really disheveled. We made him a different character, and he played basically like Mick from Rocky. He's like the disheveled old, I'll teach you how to do it, kid, sort of shit. But he did it with the RVD style. It was dope. It was really cool.
Now, was that part of the sales pitch when you bring this movie to Rob? Do you tell him, look, you're not going to be RVD? Because I feel like in a lot of ways, especially if you're only a fan of Rob in WWE, I feel like he just kind of got typecasted as that everything's cool, man. And even if you go back and look at him in ECW, he's much different. His promo ability was pretty solid, and I feel like they sold him short in WWE. So when you pitch this different type of character to Rob, does that help get him on board?
Without a doubt. Well, let me tell you what also probably helped on board. Is I got married in Vegas last July, and I know Rob lives out there, and you never know inside wrestling if somebody's your work friend or your friend, you just don't know. So I was like, yo, Rob, I'm getting married in Vegas. You and Katie should come to the wedding. And he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it to the wedding. I'll definitely make it to the reception. So the reception was at a comedy show. and we both did comedy. And I'm pretty much on a 3-day bender. And I'm like, straight up, got an hour and a half sleep at 3:30 in the afternoon, the day of my wedding. So we're having a great time. And I'm like, yo, Rob, I got this film idea. It's kind of not like, I pitched to him, but really what got him really is the second film. And I probably shouldn't even say nothing about it, but like, I wrote a movie called The Wrestler. It's a total parody of The Wrestler because The Wrestler is so depressing.
Sure.
It's actually almost a parody of itself if you watch it like a fucking, nihilistic fucking dark asshole like I do. It's like it is but the wrestler is funny if you take out the dramatic music, So I rewrote the film, and I thought that was going to be the first film, but then Pablo was like maybe you should hold that one off. Let's fucking get all the bugs and kinks worked out on the first one, and then let's do that one second. So Rob really liked that one. And I don't know if he's in on this one because he really liked that one or because he really likes this one, but he did great. And the pitch was great. Right after that, everybody started falling. Effy, who is, his words, not mine, he plays a gay Ric Flair. His words, not mine. Gay Ric Flair. All right? He said it, not me. Although that is pretty accurate. And the story follows like fucking like Rocky, basically. So Dirty Ron is the son of Ronald McDonald, the fast food mogul, right? I'm the Playboy son. I'm getting fucked up at work, having sex, doing whatever. And my boss is like, man, I'm gonna fire this asshole. My boss, played by Jeremiah Watkins from the Kill Tony podcast, hilarious comedian, headlines all over the country. He plays my boss, and he's like, finally, I get to fire him. So he gets to fire me. And I'm like, fuck you. Bow, 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 bow. And I beat him up, right? But outside the restaurant, when I beat him up, this dumpster-dwelling former wrestling champion, played by Rob Van Dam, sees me, and he goes, hey, kid, I could teach you how to wrestle. So, then it's like, yo, the world champion is looking for a dipshit jobber to fight. He finds out the Burger Kid's son is being a wrestler, so I get to fight the world champion in my first ever match. And boy, is it a wild ride.
Yeah, I can imagine. It sounds like a wild ride. Now, when you went to cast people for this movie, like, was there casting, or did you write this with everybody in mind?
Oh, you listened to an interview, I think. No, I 1000% did not cast a single person. Like Pablo and I co-wrote the film, but I don't even know how to like say this in the cinematic world, but like, I mean, I wrote the movie and the characters and the story and the plot and shit, but he turned it into a script, right? Like totally. What I wrote was not a script. It was kind of a script, but it wasn't a Hollywood script. To be fair, I don't think what he wrote was a totally Hollywood script either, but it doesn't matter. What the story that was written, it was like, yo, I had people in mind when I wrote this up. It was like, all right, well, all these wild characters and like, oh, my love interest and like, you didn't see it in any of the trailer or anything, but like there's a girl I fall in love with through the movie. Of course, she's like the homely, like never been kissed type of chick, yeah, and it was like, well, the most important thing to me really here is that I wanted to showcase how awesome and talented wrestlers were outside of the squared circle. Is that we do comedy, action, improv, stunts, all in one take with an audience 360 degrees around us. And nobody's really directing us. We all have to like spontaneously think on our feet, all these things. And I see so many actors have to act, cut, let's take it from a different angle. Like, nah, fuck that. Wrestlers have those skills, and we need to show that shit outside of a squared circle.
Yeah, no, we're stuntmen, we're just dramatic actors, like we're everything rolled into one. And I think most people, especially those that dismiss wrestling as just fake or whatever, don't really take that into consideration. How much has to go through our brain when we're out there performing, usually with one take, right? I mean, it's pretty absurd when you think about it.
One take, and not only that, like, dude, how many times have you been bopped in the head in the middle of the match, and then you're like, oh shit, I don't know where I'm at, what I'm going on, or what the fuck? And you got to pull a whole match. Like, I remember specifically a match where my opponent got hit in the head and didn't know what was going on. So not only did I have to recall all the spots, I have to like remind him, like, hook the leg, go out left, turn this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right,
yeah,
slide out, grab me. Like, I'm calling, like, so to be able to do that and still go, ooh,
Yep.
shut up, fuck you, you know, like all that, like, man, that is the thing that I think is if this movie works, and I hopefully it does, there's a lot more coming behind it, and it's all focused on showcasing wrestlers and their skills outside of wrestling, because our life inside the ropes is only so long.
100%. Yeah. And I think you got the right idea with going outside the box and doing other things that sort of expands upon that passion. Now, when you started making this movie, I'll share with you one of my experiences making a movie. I was part of a film with Matt Cross called Powerbomb that came out a couple years ago. And I remember going into it, I played myself. And I remember initially we had to set up a triple threat match for the film between myself, Matt, and Dick Justice. And in the film, the fight only ends up being 4 or 5 minutes. And so Matt and I script this 4 or 5 minute fight. And I remember sitting with the director of the film, and because I had some misconceptions about film, and I go, oh, well, this won't take more than 20 minutes if you need a couple extra shots. But no, dude, filming this 5 minute match in front of a crowd took 4 hours. And
at least
the thing that I found jarring about it was, you know, sometimes we do things in that one take moment that you got the adrenaline going and it's easy to do. Well, I do the spot where, you know, I get whipped in the rope and I hold on and then the dude clotheslines me over and I take the backflip over, and I could do that in one take, no problem. So I do the backflip over, and then the director goes, cut. Okay. Now go stand by the rope again and just wait for him to clothesline you and do the backflip again. And I'm going, oh God, I don't know if I could just, you know, like we come down off that high. Like, I don't know if I could do this in the moment. So like, did you experience any situations like that? I mean, like this is your first experience in a film, right?
Definitely not my first experience in a film. But my first experience, like choreographing a match for a film. So it was day one. Effy, who is one of the most fun people to hang around with, and I'm so glad that we flew him in a day early so we could go out and just kick it. Because that's pretty much what we did on day one of set also. We were a little uncoordinated. Now, the crew was a little bit uncoordinated, to say the least, on day one. So the fight film, we rented out this place to do the fight, you know, the fight scene, the final fight. And we only got to do it. We only got to do the whole take once. Hey, Lucia, can you close that door? Because the light's coming too hard. So we only got to do it. We only got to do it once, and boy, like that's one of the things we're gonna have to do when we come through again. But man, like we went so hard, and it was like a straight up 15 to 18 minute barn burner, several falsies out to the crowd, bump to the floor, fucking acrobatic shit, and like, dude, I'll admit this is the first time I'm gonna admit this here. And I'm gonna rat Effy out on this one, dog. We both went separate ways as soon as that bell rang, and
oh wow,
dude. I don't know if he did it or not for sure, but I know for sure I. Man, I gotta go hard because the adrenaline's going, and you know, like hurry up and wait is what they say in Hollywood, and. Let's just say we were on set for like 12 hours that day, and I had about 30 minutes of work. And when you put Dirty Ron around a bunch of actors and wild wrestlers and shit like that, Victoria was on set that day, Katie Forbes and RVD were on set that day, and all the audience members were people that actually donated to the film to be in the audience in the film, which is unheard of. That's how supportive wrestling fans are, is that we didn't, you know, and I don't want to put it like this, but like, in some films, they pay extras. In our film, people donated to be a part of the film. So that was fucking incredible. But, you know, there was a lot of extra time to hang out on set. You know, what is it? The devil loves idle hands, or I don't know. I don't read the Bible. But yeah, but if I have empty hands, they tend not to be empty for too long. So
right. No, man, I'm so pumped for this film. There's so many things I want to talk about. One thing that I was wondering about in making the film, what did you find were the biggest challenges, other than obviously making sure you stayed within your budget? And now obviously the budget's grown, but what were the biggest unexpected challenges going into this?
Is that filming like like I said, when we came into this, we thought we were going to shoot like an indie wrestling show. Take some lights, take some cameras, set it up, run and gun, bing, bang, boom. We can shoot an 80-minute feature film in like 4 to 5 days, and 4 to 5 14-hour days. And the truth is that we undershot heavily. And here's a huge difference too, is that the film crew was like, when they saw the trailer, they were like, ew, like, oh, that's so underwhelming, like cinematically, like gross. You know, it's almost like the way we would look at some mud show with 20 people in the audience and 2 300-pound guys untrained. We would go, ew, right? That's how they were looking at our trailer. And I said, look, guys, you don't understand the quality of level that is presented in wrestling. Yeah, WWE is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. AEW is billions of dollars behind it. But PWG, one of the biggest independent wrestling companies in the world, had house lights, one banner, and a fucking sheet over the door. So the production level was, I was like, here was the divide between Pablo and I versus the film crew. Because we were like, no, you guys don't understand. We are about to blow away the independent wrestling world. And you know what? That is a huge surprise to them, but not a huge surprise to me, is that we were getting a lot of compliments on the production value of our film. And I'm not listening to those cinematic people. They know what they're talking about. But I'm telling them, I watched Blue Demon and El Santo movies. Like they look like Dolomite movies. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. But that's what I want to make. That's what I want to make. Is I want to make B films starring wrestlers. Like, this is a big thing. So when a micro budget film in Hollywood, like a Seth Rogen comedy, a micro budget is $1 to $2 million. A micro budget. That means, yo, Seth Rogen, what did you say? What was that last sentence? Here's $2 million. Make that movie. You know, who gives a fuck? Yeah. So if we make this film a feature film with SAG actors in it for $100,000 or less, we're going to be a case study for the film industry, that to show them, hey, look, not only can you get wrestlers that can do all these stunts and act and do all this shit, you tap into the wrestling world, you can make full-length feature films for $100,000 or less. So if we do that, like it's on, man. Like somebody's going to give me some money. We're going to be making movies forever, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't look, it's not an impossibility, because especially in the era of COVID, we've had to do things in professional wrestling in a very different way. And there have been a lot of cinematic style promos that have been created during COVID, not just in WWE, but on the independent level. They're great. And look, you and I both know these guys, and I'm working with 440 and GCW, so we're doing a lot of these cinematic promos. We're not working with a much of a budget, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's definitely not out of the realm of possibilities to create something incredible, because what you already have, what I've saw, is looks pretty special to me.
Thank you. Brett has been a big inspiration to me. Him and I have been working together to bring some of the GCW talent out here. When you guys come out west, we piggyback and partner up. We've been doing that since summer of 2019. He's a big inspiration. Yeah, we did drive-in wrestling. We were the first company in the United States to run a live audience show after COVID hit on May 16th last year. GCW was the last independent live audience show at the end of March, and we were the first ones to run again. Brett and I talked a lot during that time. He's been a big inspiration to me. I think a lot of people are starting to look at wrestling differently. It's not just, do you like wrestling or do you not like wrestling? It's like, yo, you can like NXT or AEW or the Ring of Honor style or the New Japan style or this funny Mad TV style shit we do with Fist Combat, where it's a little bit of Mad TV, a little Saturday Night's Main Event and Saturday Night Live, some skits, some funny sponsor commercials, is that wrestling is for everybody. Last year during the pandemic, the LA Times got a hold of me and they wanted to do a story. So they came down from Los Angeles to San Diego to write a story about myself and Fist Combat running shows during the pandemic. And I don't know if you know what the logo for Fist Combat looks like, but it's a black power fist inside of a circle. I did not know that when I made the logo in 2008. However, the LA Times found out about that lickety split. And they decided to change the story. They said, you know what? We're not going to talk about you doing entertainment during a pandemic. We're going to talk about you being white and using a black power fist. So they put a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist, which is that's the pinnacle of awards you can get as a journalist. That is the Grammy for musicians and for journalists. The Pulitzer Prize. This guy won a Pulitzer Prize, and he decided to take that story and turn it around to talk about, do some race baiting bullshit. So what I did, Greg, is I invited him down in the ring to show him, to unveil our new logo. We changed our logo, the conscious effort. Last year during all the George Floyd shit, all the riots and all that, we changed our logo. But I also took that opportunity to slam the shit out of that Pulitzer Prize winning journalist asshole who said, I said, listen, Ruben, you have a voice in the world. You can do good. Wrestling unites people. Wrestling is for everybody. Wrestling is for everyone, except for you and except for the LA Times. So, Ruben, I want you to take your race baiting bullshit story. I want you to go back to LA and tell your editor and everybody up there, fuck you and fuck everything you guys stand for, all right? Because the LA Times are going to tarnish me. They're not going to tarnish wrestling. And they can take my fucking nuts and run that story. And I told him that. I kicked him out and he drove his ass back to LA.
I love that, man. Listen, that rebellious spirit that you have is what I think makes people successful, because once you get to the point where, because again, like you said, this dude tried to put a spin on something. He tried to create a story that wasn't there. And you just ended up striking back. You know what I'm saying? And I think once you get to the point to where you're at the ability to not give a fuck, I think that's when you have your most success. And I really feel like that attitude is going to propel this movie to something really great in the eyes of the public.
That's what's fucking awesome about doing every interview I can. We started this Indiegogo on March 1st. Today, I don't know when this airs. Today is March 29th. In 29 days, I have done over 40 interviews. Some podcasts, 5 people listen. Some podcasts, like the Wrestling Observer one with Brian Alvarez, I'm sure had thousands of listeners, but it doesn't matter to me. Just the same way that I entertain people, I'll go out the same way in front of 20 people, or like that night that I wrestled Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw in front of 18,000 people at the Oracle. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna give you the same performance, that same attitude, and that is what propels me. That's what motivates me. That's what motivates me, is surrounding myself with people that inspire and motivate me. That's it, and as an independent promoter, independent wrestler, and really independent everything, is that I do have the choice on who I get to work with. And I know that Effy believes that too. And these are things I knew about him before I even met him, but that was important to me to get him part of the movie. The conversations I've had with Rob Van Dam, to similar topics right here, motivate me. Victoria and I, we have shared conversations like this as well, and that's what life's all about. We're all on a quest to find our people, whether our people are in the hometown we grew up in, which didn't work for me, whether they were in the first town I moved in across the country or the second one. I ended up finding my people, and this journey through pro wrestling and through this movie and through the promotion and through everything that I've ever done and everything that we all do as wrestlers is gonna keep helping me find my people.
Man, you're pumping me up, dude. Like your words, man. It's inspired.
Fucking yeah, feel this shit.
It's what it's all about, right? And I'm glad you brought up the Monday Night Raw thing, because I remember watching that. It was like 2016, right?
I'm not sure. Maybe like October 10th, 2016. I'm not totally sure, but
I don't know the exact date off the top of my head.
I don't know the exact date.
But dude, I remember watching that live when it happened. And when you got the opportunity to cut the promo, I didn't know much about you, but I thought to myself, and I don't know if that was before or after Ellsworth, but I thought yo, this dude, they should bring him back. So what was that experience like? And was there a chance that did they want to do anything else with you? Because you stood out compared to all the other guys that Braun Strowman was facing.
I appreciate that immensely. James Ellsworth was 4 weeks before me, and they actually brought him back the week that I was there. Right. Okay. And so anybody that has ever done WWE extra work, you find out about 5-6 weeks ahead of time, or at least I did at the time. I've done it a few times, and they hit me up. They're like, yes, we want you. So I'm, hell yes, it's the greatest. This is going to be the greatest night of my life. Just being a part of this 3-day loop. So 2 weeks after I see James Ellsworth on TV, and I'm like, oh shit, like, fuck, wouldn't that be dope if like they did that the week I was there and like I got that spot? Swear to God, I'm watching this. So I get there, and Arn Anderson's like, so when you get there, you know, it's like check in, do your paperwork, whatever, get in your gear, go hang out by the ring. Maybe you'll get to get in there with somebody. So I was like, hell yeah. So I do that. A few of us are around. Arn Anderson, the fucking great Arn Anderson, walks up and he goes, all right, you two with the Colognes, you two with Braun Strowman. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I'm thinking this is like, you get to try out, get to fucking, show them what you can do. So Arn's like, all right, I got this idea. He's like, oh, you're going to think I'm crazy. And I was like, I think you're crazy. Wasn't there something with you and scissors and some shit? I don't know.
Oh my God. All right.
I did not say that because I did not. No, anyway.
Obviously.
Anyway, so he's like, you think I'm going to be crazy? I got this idea. So he goes over this match. And we go over it a couple times, you know, and I'm like, this kind of sucks. You know, like I don't get to really show shit. Like it's me and this guy. It's my size, 5'9" on a good day. And it's against 17-foot tall Braun Strowman. I'm like, this is silly. Like, why are we doing this? And then when we get out of the ring, they show me the script and they're like, I read it and I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to be on Monday Night Raw. Like, what? So I read, and I'm reading further and it's like, oh, one of us gets to talk. And I was like, no fucking way. Like, no way. So I'm like, I'm going to kill this guy. Like, I don't care what I got to do. I'll fucking put some laxative in his drink. And I'm talking. He's not. I don't give a shit. And Marcus Lewis, to his credit, he was like, I don't care. You talk. So I was like, fuck, yes. So I cut the promo, whatever, and like it was the greatest night of my life. But what was awesome after that was come through Gorilla. You know, like I got to cut the promo, which was dope. That was like doing a live promo to 18,000 people, and like thank God for Marcus Mack at APW. Marcus Mack, what up? Fucking tells me, he goes, when you go out there, don't say Oakland, say Oaktown. So I go out there and I'm like, ever since we grew up right here in Oaktown, I got a pop, man, as a fucking job, dude. It was the coolest night of my life. So we go back, I go back through the curtain, you know, like, thank you, everybody, you know, bow my head. I didn't even like look up, you know, I'm nervous as shit still, like Vince McMahon's over here, Triple H over here. I go grab a bottle of water, I'm start walking back towards where all the extras are hanging out. And I see down the hall, here's fucking Vince McMahon's walking my way. So I was like, oh shit. So I stopped because they're like, don't bother anybody. Don't take pictures, you know, like, don't be a fucking mark. Right. So I'm like, of course, duh. Like, but I'm going to stop. Like, I'm going to stop. He's going to walk past me at least. And maybe I'll look up, you know. So I stop. I'm waiting. I'm like, oh shit. Like, here comes Vince McMahon. It's going to be crazy. Right. You know, and I'm thinking, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, whatever. And so I look up and then there he is halfway down the hallway, but he's looking at me right in my fucking eyes. And I'm like, oh shit. Because they told us, they said, when you cut the promo, make sure you do not look into the screen. So on Raw, I looked right into the screen.
Of course.
Now here's Vince coming down the hallway, and I'm like, fuck. I'm full Macaulay Culkin, right? So as I'm thinking this, like I look up and there he is, standing over me, 12 feet tall. And fucking, I swear to you, Greg, this 27-foot tall man is looking down at me, Vince McMahon. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him, like, you know, and he's looking at me like down, you know, and I'm looking at him. You know, I'm looking down. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. No, nothing's being said. This could be 2 seconds or 2 hours. I don't know. And then he says, "You did a great job tonight, son. You did a great job." And like, I couldn't get a better compliment from the fucking the god of all this shit. Like, no offense to Nick Gage, but fucking the god.
Yeah, that's I can't even imagine how surreal that moment would be. Actually, you know what? I can. I mean, Vince McMahon is a very intimidating man, but like I've had my moments with I mean, listen, you could say the same thing. I mean, who in a million years would have thought when you're a kid, you're watching RVD on TV, one day you're going to be making a fucking movie with him, right? I mean, like, so like as wrestlers, I think we're our own biggest critics. I mean, like you said several times, you're just a shitty pro wrestler that runs a shitty promotion. I think you're selling yourself really short, but you know, oftentimes I say to myself, like, I'm just a crippled wrestler. You know, I got lucky a few times, but like we've had these life moments that because we took a chance, we busted our ass. Like I've sat across
from Stone Cold Steve Austin at his house, and like,
dude, right?
Dude, like it's crazy. Or like, I've been in the ring with CM Punk, or I've wrestled and defeated the Dudley Boys, and it's one of those things which is like, none of this makes any goddamn sense. So it's like, for you to like be face to face with Vince McMahon, it's surreal, but it's like almost like a storybook type situation where it's like, it just shows that if you persevere and you try and you bust your ass, and you do things that even maybe you don't think you could do, good things will come.
Without a doubt. Reading over your Wikipedia before I did this, when I saw that you got inspired by Stone Cold after doing his podcast, you start a podcast of your own. Like, dude, that's what it's all about. Like wrestling has taught me so many lessons in life, like how to put everybody else over, how to put everybody else over so you get over more, like not over more, but like, so you get over, you know what I'm saying? Like the way to treat everybody is like, if I'm fighting you on Friday and I'm like, I'm fighting this guy, Gregory Iron, man, he's a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like fuck this guy, he's a nobody. And then you beat me, like a piece of shit beat me. Or if I beat you, I beat nobody. You know, like, I know you know this. I'm just kind of, saying this for the interview or whatever, the fucking, but if I'm like, this Gregory Iron, man, he's the fucking man, like, but this Friday, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to get this close. He's going to get this close to beat me. I'm going to beat him, or he's going to beat me. And, what happens after that? Well, we're both valuable wrestlers at that point. So, like wrestling has taught me so many lessons. And if you like wrestling, I like you,
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it connects so many different people. Now that you bring that up, and like, this has been a lot more inspiring than I would imagine. There's a question that pops into my brain here. Wrestling has taught me so much. You just mentioned how it's taught you so much. I think we've progressed a long way. You've been wrestling about as long as I have, right? About 15 years, 20 years?
Yeah, I started in 2001 and on and off. So, I've had somewhere between like 900 and 1,000 matches, like not very many notable ones, but you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
No, but I mean, I've seen some of your work and you're a talented athlete, but what do you think is the biggest thing that pro wrestling has taught you as a man? Maybe that's kind of deep, but like, I feel like I've learned so many lessons from wrestling that I've applied to life, because it's like, I don't know, it's helped me grow as a person.
This is probably the most important thing to me that has happened. And it happened to be learning it through wrestling, is that when I ran my first fist wrestling show in January 2007, I was 23 years old. I was a young, dumb punk asshole to work with. I had my family there helping me, and I was yelling at everybody, and I lost like $500, which was half my rent, which kind of mattered to me a lot at that point. And I was just mad and angry and why this, and yelling at people. And I was the worst person to work around ever. And through wrestling and through hearing and being more self-aware and listening to people and learning how to speak everybody's language, because no matter what language you speak, everybody speaks a different language. Everybody needs to be talked to a different way. And especially if you want to work with somebody, you have to speak their language. So wrestling has taught me to learn from the people around you, to take their input, to always know that it's okay to fail. You're going to fail. I failed 999,999 times. Maybe this movie is going to be the millionth, but you know what? I'm going to get up 1,000,001 times, and I'm going to be that much stronger. I'm going to have learned my lesson. I'm not going to make my mistake a habit by doing that mistake again. And I'm going to do that. And I'm going to persevere. And no matter how many times you get kicked in the dick, you can get back up. And it's not over until you quit, until you don't get back up. So if you decide you're going to get back up, well, then get the fuck back up and get out there and get your shit done. I don't like, the people that say I tried my best and stuff like that. That's cool. That might be fine for you. That's not fine for me. I don't try my best. Either I do or I don't. And I do at the end of the day. The best compliment I've heard about me is somebody that said, you know what? Over everything, that motherfucker does what he says he's going to do. So if I die and that's all that's said about me, I will be a happy man. The people go, you know what? That guy, at least he did what he said he was going to do.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, oh my God. I'm loving this conversation. Listen, we could probably talk all day, but we should probably wrap it up. So I guess to wrap things up, the Indiegogo. Tell people about that and how they can donate, what type of perks they can expect for contributing to the film. Any other information you'd like to add about the movie?
The movie's a Pro Wrasslin Movie, APRORASSLINMOVIE.com. We're the same thing all over all social media. Hashtag Dirty Ron Movie, very easy to find. We are, like I said, about a month into our 50-day campaign. We are nowhere near where we would like to be, but that doesn't matter. Is that we know that we're going to finish this film. We know that we're going to get this thing out there, and we're going to continue to make movies that showcase professional wrestlers and their skills outside of the ring. And that's been my entire goal. I know this could probably be an entire conversation again, but like my mom was an independent pro wrestler in the late 70s, did less than 100 matches. I've watched every WrestleMania live. I've been to 5 of them. 4 of them as guests of my friends. That work there. The way wrestling has been my entire life. So the tagline that this movie is by pro wrestling fans for pro wrestling fans, that's exactly what it is. And I think that whether you like wrestling now, whether you watched this brand or that brand, or whether you watched it when it was Southern wrestling, or whether you watched the Northeast stuff, or Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, I don't care. If you like wrestling, I like you, and I think that you're gonna find something in a Pro Wrasslin Movie somewhat funny, make you chuckle.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, I love this conversation. I can't say that enough. And, I usually end all these interviews by asking the guest what inspires you, but I feel like you've covered a lot of ground, unless you have one more thing you want to add. Like, when this is all said and done, the Indiegogo closes, whether you meet your goal or not, what is going to inspire you to keep going?
What is the point in quitting? When you quit, you die. So like, if I'm not, dude, right now I'm running a pro wrestling school, a pro wrestling promotion. I am in the middle of putting together a pilot for a comedy sketch show, all out of my fucking little warehouse here. While we're trying to put this movie together, while we're doing live shows, we're about to launch an app, and all these things are going great because I work with a fucking incredible team all around me. And I think that that's really the end of that message from what I've learned as a man from pro wrestling is that, dude, the team of people that have agreed to work with me, that nobody works for me, everybody works with me. We all work together. And I have a team that I work with this, and I have a team that I work with that, and I have a team that I work with my school and my students, and I have a team of people that are working on this movie, and those are all independent of each other. So to be inspired and to inspire other people is my entire mission in life. I used to want to drive a nice car and wear nice clothes, and now I want to just do cool fucking things. So I really don't want to work. I don't want to have a real job. That's really what it is. I want to have a real job.
I feel that 100%, man. A Pro Wrestling Movie, The Legend of Dirty Ron. You can find the Indiegogo to contribute right now online. And if someone wanted to find you or Fist Combat on social media, how can they do so, Ron?
Just look for people talking shit. At Dirty Ron McDonald. Pretty easy to find. Dirty Ron. I don't know if there's ever been a wrestler like me, and I don't know if there'll ever be a wrestler like me. And that's not a cocky, conceited statement. Just like my hero Rob Van Dam, one of a kind, going into the Hall of Fame. I think that we're all individually, don't try to copy being someone else. Be inspired by people. Sabu told me that. He said his uncle taught him. He said, take your 3 favorite wrestlers and be a mixture of that. So I'm inspired by people, and hopefully I can continue to inspire people, whether it's 1 or 1 million people. And I had a great time talking with you. I can't wait till we hang out in person.
It'll be a great thing. And I'll tell you what, you at least inspired one person today. So just know that. And I can't wait to see the whole film. And I wish you all the best going forward with meeting your
Hey,
goal.
you got Effy part of your clique now. What's up with that?
Man, he was in for 1 day and he stabbed us in the back. So I got a little heat with Effy right now. Okay.
Hey, well, don't hold that against me. He's my nemesis in the movie. Okay. Don't hold it against me.
I hope
All
you
right.
gave him some potatoes.
Oh. You got it coming.
Ron, I hope
yeah.
we get to hang out in person soon, man.
Oh, it's happening. And just put it. Well, we gotta get on the calendar.
Hell yeah, man. Thanks again.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Dirty Ron. That was the interview with Dirty Ron McDonald. His movie, a Pro Wrasslin Movie, The Legend of Dirty Ron, is not available yet, but you can make that happen by donating to the Indiegogo. There's a lot of tiers in which you can donate to, and I know we have a lot of loyal listeners to the show. I hope that you'll throw a few bucks towards Dirty Ron and his film. Again, it features the likes of RVD, Victoria, Effy, so many others. It looks like a great film. I want to see the whole thing, and together we can make that happen. So please support this effort. Support Dirty Ron and the film. Aaron, can you give me... Well, you know, you were a weed smoker of sorts. You like to puff the chiba, right?
What are you
Smoke
talking
the
about?
sticky icky, right? You can relate to that.
What are all these terms you're coming up with?
Yeah. You're a big fan of that. Like, so do you have like...
I'm not a big fan of it.
What?
That was years ago.
Okay,
I
well...
haven't partaken. And what did you say? I like to puff the magic dragon?
I didn't say that. I said puff the chiba. Which I
oh.
believe is a line from Big Daddy.
Oh, what about Puff the Magic Dragon? What's that a line from?
I'm not sure, actually.
Oh, one of those Fokker movies.
Meet the Fockers?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a Gaylord.
Okay.
You like to puff the magic dragon?
Okay, I haven't seen those in forever.
Anyway,
Anyways, when you did smoke, do you have 3 favorite people in which you like to partake with the sticky icky?
No. And I would never... okay, look, I'm not going to indict anyone on anything. However, Sabu was a good time. And... Yeah, so he was cool as shit. Kid Cash was very annoying to smoke with.
Really?
Yeah.
Why's that?
He just hopped in the car and just started, like, taking stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's inconvenient.
Yeah, and then telling us how cool he was. Never smoked with New Jack, but New Jack asked me if I would smoke while he and I were in the car together. So that way... he could enjoy the smell because it reminded him of his old lady.
It's like a bodybuilder that can't eat bad, but then will chew food up and then spit it out so they can taste the flavor.
I used to do that.
Really?
Yeah, I swear to God. I think it was around 2002. And look, people think these are gross, but I fucking love the red pizzas, the Totino's. Oven pizzas or whatever, frozen pizzas. Everybody thinks they're gross. Yeah, they're the ones that are like $1.29 or
those
something.
ones. I'm a fan of the Tony's pizzas.
The yellow ones?
The ones that come in the pack. I don't know.
You're an actual asshole. Fuck you.
What?
The red ones are where it's at.
Red what? Red Tony's pizza?
They're in a red package. No, not Tony's. You fuck.
Calm down. What are you doing?
I'm getting real mad here. You used to have this discussion with Chris Cole. I thought you were better than that.
Tony's Pizza was great. Like when they had pizza day at
Tony's?
school. Yeah.
Fuck you.
It was a little packaged pizza. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course it was a little package. Anyway.
Okay.
So, fuck those frozen pizzas. I'm telling you, where it's at was the Totino's. They're in a red package.
Okay.
And they're delicious. But I think maybe only to me. Yeah, I know what you're showing me.
Okay,
it's dumb.
That's Tony's Pizza.
Yeah, who cares? Who gives a fuck?
You're a piece of garbage. It was better than the pizza that they usually served you at when they gave you a
Who
shitty
cares?
French
We're not talking
bread
about
pizza.
that. I'm telling you, the red package. Why don't you do your little Google there on your little phone? It has unlimited minutes because you think you're better than everyone. I'd Google it, but I'm running out of minutes.
I'm not Googling anything.
Okay,
Continue.
I'll Google your face. Where were we? Oh, yeah. So, anyway, I don't know. You put me in a conundrum, and now here's what I got to tell you. Where am I? Oh, so New Jack, yeah, he wanted
From
to
all
smell
the
it.
weed you smoked, that's why.
Yeah, now I can't, yeah. But it's over, that part of my life. But if I want to talk about the 3, let me give you my 3 favorite people to smoke cigarettes with, which I haven't smoked cigarettes. I quit smoking like 4 years ago.
Gross.
Yeah, well, you're gross. with your Tony's Pizza.
Are you high right now?
Tony the Spider's Pizza?
Hey, man. R.I.P. Tony the Spider, okay?
Yeah. That's my bad. I shouldn't have went there.
No, it's
That's
fine.
That's completely my fault. I'm sorry.
I've been in
I'm
contact with members of his family, and we
Uh-huh.
have exclusive pictures that you can view from the life of Tony the Spider over on patreon.com/irononwrestling.
That tattoo is nuts, man. If I didn't already agree to get a Conrad tattoo, I might have got a Tony the Spider
You can
tattoo.
still get a Tony the Spider tattoo.
I don't know if there's a room on my body.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Anyway.
Okay, so yes. So I always enjoyed AIW shows because, well, I enjoyed going out for smoke breaks.
Mhm.
And I think Jerry, podcast superstar Jerry,
Mhm.
he didn't smoke cigarettes, but he smoked Black and Miles. And he was always outside. And I could always count on referee Tom Dunn.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember him?
Smoke breaks.
Oh, dude. And I could never get it. Like, how are you smoking all the cigarettes and then going and reffing matches where you got to get blown up?
Mm-hmm.
And another thing about Tom Dunn, here's what I really liked. In the beginning, I was like, why do you have a 6'5" referee and everybody else is 5'9"?
Right.
But
in the back, he was known as the Dundertaker.
yes, he was. But Chandler Biggins explained it to me one time where he said, if you have a law-enforcing, rule-enforcing referee, you probably want him to be bigger than the guys that are wrestling because otherwise, they just intimidate the tiny guys.
Sure.
So it's almost like in UFC. Remember they had that Big John dude that refereed?
No.
Big John McCarthy?
I've never watched that fake shit.
Yeah, you don't watch it. Okay. But yeah, once I heard that, I was like, oh, Dunn should ref every match then. I thought, and he was a great ref. Do you remember when he came back as a member of Nixon?
How could I forget? I would like to, but I can't.
So he comes back, and he screams, "I'm back, Biggins!" But it didn't sound like he said Biggins.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's not good.
And so on commentary, I forget who was commentating with me, but our jaws dropped.
What did he just say? Oh,
I thought he said, "I'm back," N-words.
Yeah.
And we were like, no! Oh, my God! Oh, this is a shoot now. This is a shoot.
Well,
he came out to destroy the promotion. And
yeah. Well, it makes sense because Necro Butcher's kind of a racist, right? So.
Oh, is he?
I think so.
I thought he made a lot of money off of fantasy football.
He might, but that doesn't mean he's not a racist.
Yeah, good point. So, and then Ruby Riott was the third one, out of the four of us, the four smokers.
Oh, yeah, she
the
did
four
used to
chain
like to
smokers.
smoke. I think she has since stopped as well.
I would imagine she's in WWE.
And in incredible shape.
She's in the best shape I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's great.
So, yeah, it was always fun to go out and have that smoke break. But coincidentally, I haven't done indie shows regularly in like 4 years. And I haven't smoked in 4 years.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess PSA, right?
Yeah.
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke.
There's
It's a
no
joke.
hope with smoke.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's more hope with Coke. Please don't do
No,
Cokes,
what?
kid.
What?
No,
Come on.
I'm kidding. That's a joke.
You meant vanilla Coke, right? Like the
Vanilla
sody?
Coke Zero.
Yes, the
More
sody pop.
specific. No calories.
Okay.
Very healthy for you. That's it.
Well, I guess we should kiss.
What a way to end the show. Hey, try out patreon.com/irononwrestling. It's the best way to support the show. Starting at $3, we'll follow you back on social media as well. You can DM us directly. You can also follow us on social media at Iron on Wrestling on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow me on social media at Gregory Iron on Twitter, at Gregory_Iron on Instagram. Find me on Facebook as well. If you'd like to book me for your pro wrestling show, motivational speaking engagement, and or pro wrestling seminar, you can contact me on my social media via DM, or you can email me at Gregory_Iron.com at yahoo.com. I'm botching the spot here. ProWrestlingTees.com.
Not uncommon.
ProWrestlingTees.
Go ahead, Facade.
.com/Gregory Iron. You can also find me on Cameo. Aaron, what do you want to plug?
You know what? I don't need to plug social media or anything this week. Here's what I do need to plug. As we told you earlier, stay tuned to the end of the episode. We're always a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd also like to point out that we're early and extended.
Yes.
And I got a couple stories about me being arrested.
Oh my God, please tell them.
Well, you've been wanting me to tell them, and I've been refusing, but I will. But not right now. Let's go to a kiss, and then I'll tell the stories, but only for those that have subscribed to Patreon.
Wow, okay. Let's do it. Mwah.